Hello everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. I am, of course, your chronicler, Midgeman, and tonight I am joined by my usual array of fine fellows that will be bringing you tonight's adventure. But before we get on with tonight's adventure, we do have a few things to cover. That is me punching my phone. And speaking of phones, or any other mobile device, if you have one of those, you might be a social media user. We recently started an Instagram account, so definitely go on over to Instagram, component_cast, or you can find it through our link tree on Twitter if you already follow us on Twitter. If you don't follow us on Twitter and you have Twitter, go follow us on Twitter as well. But the Component Cast Instagram is bringing pretty unique content to our outlook of things. We got there's a number of us working on it. We're doing things such as we're putting on Twitch clips, character bios, memes, artist promos, and today we even had a world building sort of history post go up about Othray, the location in the Elendor Chronicles that the party have just gotten to. So for all sorts of behind the scenes and fun little social posts, definitely go check that out. And then other than that, we have our normal support and sponsors for tonight's show. Of course, we have the wonderful people over at Syrinscape who help bring our TTRPG table to life. With Syrinscape, you can get involved completely free and get yourself 20 free sound sets to get you started. They've got both online players or apps, which you can get involved with on your various mobile devices that I've just mentioned. Hey, look, there's a link. And, of course, if you want to find out more, go to Syrinscape.com or follow the links in our About section or in our description if you're watching on YouTube. But without further ado, I think we should get on with tonight's broadcast. Don't you? And we're back. Thank you for this. Someone was asking me a technical question whilst we were on a time limit, so that's it is what it is. But who would like to give us the recap for tonight to start us off?
I think it should be Ruby.
Oh, yeah.
Ruby did it last time.
Ruby did do it last time. That is very true.
It did sound like Mordred just
volunteered though.
Yeah, that did sound like a volunteer.
Yeah, go for it, Zeb.
Let me just get my notes up. Okay, so we were starting the session by getting the crew, running various people, including the officers, through the Zone of Truth, which Zedaar had set up. Zep then created a shrine to Bahamut with Ruby's assistance for Zedaar, which in its inactive form is a platinum egg which opens up with the wings in the head and fiery silver eyes when kneeling on the prayer mat. And Zep also created one-armed bandit for Braun because it was Crystal Kinder Day, which was the special day off for the Warforged to celebrate their creation, in which they stand sentinel in offline mode facing towards Legoron's land. We then set off and had a storm, which we started poorly on, but eventually Zep and Ruby massively increased power to the engines by Ruby just pouring both burning hands.
Pretty much
Into
raw
the engine.
fire, yeah.
Into the engine, so we pushed through the clouds and rose above the storm. Second week was a lot easier. Darius training like the entire crew how to fight, 98% of them turning out to be good fighters, and we created some weapons so that they could actually fight. Volmir spoke to some scary echo dude who we don't really know about. We then arrived in Pitvili, where Ruby informed the party that she might be wanted by the authorities there. We got the merchant, Lena, to inquire about Ruby's status, and we found out that... Hang on, no, that's skipping ahead. Anrayne, Sunderstar, and Sunderstar family in general, getting information about them, spent a load of money to do it. Went to Offraid to get... Oh no, it's known for the good food and wine. Zedaar, Volmir, and Darius went to the bathhouse, which I'm sure they would rather forget, which had the giant gravy pool. And Darius went for an unintended swim, and there were also kebabs. Lena then returned from the information reporting back that Anrayne Sunderstar is not wanted, and is in fact doing quite well at home. And that's where we ended up.
I want to point out that the moment you said, Offraid, known for its fine food and great wines, and then we went to that place immediately afterwards.
Yes.
You're muted.
Muted, Roach.
I want to point out one thing that we did not see in that place was a kebab. We had racks of ham and like a pig.
No,
and stuff like
there was people carving
Yeah,
kebab.
Yeah, they had the carvery thing. You know what? Darius was the kebab.
No.
Certainly basted like one, yeah.
So you can take a point of
Ruby's
inspiration. That was excellent. And yes, we left off with Ruby being told that Anrayne Sunderstar is still at home.
For the first time in Ruby's time that you guys have known her, she's speechless. Just...
It would have been the second time if you'd come to the bathhouse with us.
Well, you know, the path not taken. It would have been warm. I'm sorry. Could you run that by me again? I'm home. Speaking to the person who delivered.
Yes, well, it is as far as I can find out, at least from the traders and the guilds, that there is no active warrants for a Ruby Sunderstar or Anrayne Sunderstar, and the young heiress to the county is where she's meant to be, and always has been, ever since their great fire, and apparently the recovery from the fire is going pretty smoothly. Hang on, I need to just do a quick roll for this character. That's a natural 20, okay.
Am I being deceived and can't find out about it?
I understand this is clearly not the case, however, and that I should probably be quiet right now.
DM, how far is it horse carriage walking to Givriamouville?
Horse carriage walking.
By actual walking that way.
Yeah. Well, there's no it is probably three days.
Ruby is pacing across now. She's just doing back and forth like she's trying to figure out what to do. Her hands are grabbing her head as if she's trying to figure out a plan. The girl looks like she's lost for options of figuring out what's going on right now.
All of you are here, by the way, just as an element to that. You too see Ruby's stress. She's not hiding it. It's visible. By the crow flies, it is 150 miles, roughly.
Oh, let's look at this logically. What are the chances that your father just is covering up the fact that you ran away?
a near certainty.
Now, this may just be some form of imposter. Someone who has been assigned your name, or may perhaps even does not even actually exist, but is just existing in name only.
Has Anrayne actually been seen at all, or is it just rumors that she is doing well?
It is to my understanding that she has been seen, as far as the traders are concerned. There was a small gathering the other day to reopen one of the temples. She was present for it, following the fire.
Does not make any significance. There is other things that can explain that.
Zep,
Yeah.
set a course for Gurmir.
Oh, see it done. If you'll excuse me, I'll go and get Marcus.
But I will follow you while you walk, Master Skyspan. And Lena joins you. Mordred, I need you to roll a D100, please. She's going to give you her trade report for the for this stop. So
how do I do a D100?
So /die one space 1D100 in Fantasy Grounds.
That is 11.
Okay.
She was too busy gathering information.
It is indeed the case. The information brokering has taken up a lot of time, and I am still yet to shift most of our wares. If you would prefer, I can just... I can either unload and stay here myself, and you can pick me back up before you leave Orthrey, and I can try and do the rest of the trade. However, you know, that requires extra. But right now, we're looking at making a loss on a lot of the products here that are not long-lasting.
It would seem to me that Ruby would like to get moving as quickly as we can. So this is one we will have to take on the chin, as they say.
Okay. As you will, I will see if I can shift anything off the at the docks before we leave. But I don't think it will be very good for us.
And thank you for your efforts there. You have done very well in gathering this information, and I am sure it will be of use. So keep it up.
She nods and she goes off to the lower decks in order to try and shift what she can of the more perishable goods that you brought for this journey that she was planning on spending, you know, a couple of days selling in the first place. But anyway, you go and find Marcus. Ruby, back to you and the rest of the group. You are on the top deck. Ruby is clearly stressed.
Legacy is everything to my father. Ensuring a dynasty that will last 1,000 years. And part of that, considering the politics of this kingdom, would involve ensuring that there is no instability, inward or out. I do not know who he has installed in my place. He is certainly not above going low.
How long have you been gone?
It was only a few months. I was gone before I was taken to Retbury. So what is this, about 8 months now? 9 months?
Yeah, probably about that.
8-9 months?
How many in the city, out of the general populace, how many would know you specifically by face? Like,
it'd be more and more harder to hide who I am if I was in my local region, but before that I did not get out much. Certain merchants in this region certainly would, which is why I did not want to leave the ship.
Well, flying a ship into your hometown is definitely going to have an impact one way or the other.
I think maybe going there slower but more under the radar may be a wiser choice. Leave the ship here, go on foot, go on horses. Not make a scene. Not until we intend to make a scene.
I cannot hide myself like you can, Valmir.
I can no longer do that.
I understand. The point is, short of wearing a mask and a hood, the closer we get to home, the far more likely I will be recognized.
Carriage, then, perhaps?
Oh, what? I'm sorry?
A carriage we could take? Where you could be inside?
Seems like regardless of whatever you do with that, eyes are going to be on Ruby. You arrive in an airship, you arrive in the carriage.
Hiding is not my style. I think getting answers and confronting this is the way I would.
Conversely, you could let us confront this.
You all don't know my father.
I'm not talking about meeting your father. I'm talking about meeting you.
That could be done.
And I would just sit on the ship and on my hands and wait?
I know you're terrible at that, but yes.
I would hate it.
This seems to be a figurehead that is popular in public. I do not imagine it would be difficult for a seasoned group of adventurers, especially such as times as these, to meet with the local governor.
Zep's already gone.
Yeah, actually, with
He's
that,
got short
you do
legs.
hear...
We can catch up.
All hands prepare for takeoff.
It will be fine. We will just make a grand engines ourselves, and we will see how the situation plays out.
I will remain in the kitchen for now. Stress cooking. Ruby is stress cooking.
Don't worry, you'll get word the second that we know something.
Mordred, just wanted to check. Was there anything else you wanted to say to Arcus, or was that?
That was it. I was actually going to say maybe in about 2 hours or so, because I know that there is still loading and unloading going. It's not an immediate departure, but
Yeah, they're looking to depart as soon as possible. There is still ongoing loading, and they are aware of that. So it was probably about an hour and a half until you actually take off. So
okay. No, I think I would actually return to the group as soon as I'd said, right, this is where we're going, which Mordred has forgotten, though Zep certainly wouldn't have. Where are we going?
V Armory. It's north coast. Armorville, sorry. It's north coast, one of the ports there.
Yep, I see it.
And if you want to check in with the navigator, you can see if she has a map.
That is what I would do. Well, I'll report in with the party, and then if Ruby is already gone, then I will go and start working with the navigation stuff, because that is something I'm very good at.
Cool. Your navigator points out that there is the city placement itself is a walled port town. There is no bastion to speak of, but on one side the elevation is slightly higher with like a more rocky outcrop, so it's kind of half nestled on a hillside, half nestled in a cove. It's kind of like one of those towns that sort of flows down. Normally that you'd see kind of west of England, kind of like Cornish countryside sort of town, like that kind of thing. But it's walled, and then she points out because they've actually visited, and I rolled this, that one side of the town out on the outskirts there is a lot of the district is less normal population, more rich people country homes, like holiday homes. There's a lot of villas that are only used in summer by certain aristocracy and nobility. So yeah, that is the town, and I believe I shared you guys the map of the town last week, or a basic map of the town anyway. The run.
Which town are we in now?
We're in Pitfilly, the capital of Arthray.
Which is the one that's not actually on the map?
It's the one that is not marked.
Yes,
okay.
It's one that's not marked. It's marked on my Asgard's map, though, if you still use that.
I just had Ruby's one saved.
That's fair. No, it's kind of in the very center of the peninsula that is Arthray, is kind of where we're looking at, is Pitfilly.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So, party, what we would like to do?
Ruby is baking. There is a chocolate cake in the mix.
So, I'm just trying to think. Crowflies, you guys go about 15, or slightly less than 15, didn't we work out? 15 unloaded for 12 hours. So you're looking at about an 11-hour journey to get there by skyship. So you should be there by the middle of the night. So if Ruby's frantically baking, what is anyone else doing? Or are we all just taking up positions and waiting out the journey?
Zedaar is praying for some guidance in this situation, but it's not anything where he's doing any spell casting.
Okay.
Or just kind of consulting the magics he believes might come in handy in the situations ahead.
Question. Are you using the new shrine?
I imagine so.
Give me a religion check then, please.
Okay, let us see what Bahamut thinks of the new shrine.
Uh-oh.
It melts. Heresy!
It's 17.
17? As you focus in on the shrine itself, you do feel like you get a feeling from a guided feeling, something that you would be accustomed to as a man of your faith, but it definitely feels like it's a sense or a message trying to get through from the great beyond, but an uneasiness washes over you with revelation, and your thoughts are guided as much that the path ahead is not quite clear. Anybody else? Is there anything you would like to do?
Because the navigation task is pretty simple, I'll just leave that to our navigator, and I'm gonna join Ruby in the kitchen with the express intent of getting some of that chocolate out of the bowl.
Okay.
And as an aside, I'm kind of doing this just to distract Ruby and let her take her eye out on Zep, so I'm being purposefully that annoying child.
Sure. There's a lot of rambling as she's trying to figure out what was my father doing before I left. What was her father's plans before she ran away? Like, what was his latest project, if he had one?
Well, your father is the first of your house to have become count of the local town, so he was mainly solidifying his position.
Okay.
If you are talking... I don't want to use the word, that word, but if you're talking in external means...
She's talking out loud. Yes.
Well, no, I'm saying if you are asking me a DM question about the other elements of the plan...
No, just what... She's trying to reason why her father would replace her instead of look for her. Hard to say.
yeah, very hard to say unless you really want to sit down and think about it. And even then, with the current state of mind, it would not be an easy assumption to make.
Yeah. So what you hear from Ruby, Zep, is mostly a lot of not quite crying, but very visible frustration, and she is angrily stirring a pot.
And that probably gets more than once battered by one of the mixing spoons as he's like going, oh, oh, oh. Exactly.
But eventually she will actually take a spoon and taste this.
Okay. I'll taste it. Any good?
It's Ruby, of course it's good.
It's pretty decent. She has the cooked trait. It's.
I steal the spoon.
Valmir, Darius, Gourd, anything particularly from you guys?
Valmir is kneeling on a little mat in front of this tiny little, wouldn't quite say it's a shrine, but some candles there and looks a bit creepy. And about 3 or 4 feet behind him, to the left a bit, is a shadow that is also doing the exact same thing, just kneeling there, just a shade.
Okay. Yeah, so you put out your candles, you fold up your band t-shirts from Hot Topic. It's the standard Warlock array. Yeah.
Don't make me multi-class into Rogue as well.
Yeah.
You're just gonna hear nothing but Papa Roach for the rest of your life.
He's right here playing.
No. I know that wasn't Papa Roach, but still.
No, that was Linkin Park. And as someone who listens heavily to all that kind of music, I am both self-burning and offended.
Yeah, no, I
Anyway.
also listen, and I'm totally fine with this.
Darius, what are you doing?
Nothing really, just passing the time.
Okay. And Gourd?
I'd be probably tossing a ball or something around with stone.
Okay, I thought you just meant yourself, like a cat playing with yarn, but I'm glad you're.
No.
Okay, you're playing with the drake. That's absolutely fine. You can do that on the top deck. Nice. Okay. Well.
I did want to say, eventually Zep would kind of realize that Ruby is not getting particularly distracted by his efforts. I will become a little bit more serious eventually. Do you think there is any chance it is not your father who has brought in maybe a double, but somebody else who is pretending to be you?
She'll stop at that. I don't know. My father is cunning, but he is not stupid. And he knows me. And he knows my affinity for having a big ego. And if there is any way to get me to come home, it would be to poke at my pride. But that is not to say he is not the only one who knows how I work.
There are a number of different things that could be going on here. What we need most is information. My current thinking is maybe if the fake Anrayne is an illusion or something like this, maybe we could try to detect this.
Maybe.
At least then we can discount that it is someone pretending to be you, and it is instead your father making the pretense.
I am too emotionally compromised to make a solid decision on what to do next, Zep. I am torn between blowing the place up and going into a hole and crying. But I think that if we go under the pretenses of trading, you will have the opportunity to meet with my father and whomever he has replaced me with. She really chokes on that word.
Well, let us hope that it is someone pretending to be you. That would seem to be the best outcome. I dread to think what the alternative would be.
As do I.
We will find out. We will set this down.
In the morning, then.
Yeah, but now, more chocolate, please. It is very good.
When the cake is done, it is a chocolate cream cheese cake.
Cheese come from?
Are you really going to ask that question?
That's not what I meant.
after you guys got done at a gravy pool, where stuff comes from is she stocked up before she left.
Oh, it wasn't whatever. It's just another kind of chocolate cake. I personally am as Lambert I'm into, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she will. There's cake if people are hungry and want a good dessert.
Yeah, quite a lot of it disappears before any of the others even arrive.
I wonder if I could start getting into brewing.
I am a willing test subject.
Well, it's a very different concept than cooking, and as a DM, I'm not sure if that would fall under the purview of my chef feat.
It won't go for the chef feat, but it's still something you could look into doing, should you wish to. I'm currently looking into why my Syrinscape has crashed, though. So
Oh yeah, Syrinscape.
My Syrinscape.
It's playing for me. It's great.
Yeah,
lovely music.
it's great. I'm just on my end. It's gone to pot, but I'm getting it back up. It's just more for the audience. Even so. So by the time you guys arrive, it is very much the dead of night. Like the hour is 1 past the new day, and it is clear when you land that the city is quiet. Well, I can't really say city. It is a small portside town. The only flickers of lamps you see are from street lights and from the various villaed estates which to the east of the town seem to keep their areas pretty lit.
Do you, on the top deck, Ruby and Zep, do you know why I ran away? It was the stupidest thing.
It's not a story you have told me, no.
I got in. There's a spot, and she'll point somewhere in the town. Right there. I told my father I wanted to make a tavern, start my own tavern. I was going to call it the Five Fine Fish. And I wanted to run it. I wanted that to be what I wanted to do. And he went absolutely ballistic on me for that, for something so low-born. Something so stupid, so asinine. We argued, and I screamed and ran. I didn't intend to leave forever. Just wanted to cool off. Then the fire happened, and I didn't know what happened. I just kept running, and the next thing I know, I'm in Redberry. Just wanted to start a tavern.
Seems like a worthy objective to me. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased coming from a mercantile background, but the ambitions of our parents and of our uncles may not always coincide with what we ourselves wish to achieve. But remember, the choice is always ours. Even if there are expectations, what you actually do is up to you.
I wanted to watch people smile as they conversed, ate good food, drank good drinks, lived their lives in a time of comfort in this world which is so damned cruel. Now I've got this power, I could do so much more. It seems that even thinking about starting a tavern would just be selfish of me.
We all need hobbies, even if you do not stay there necessarily full time. To own the tavern, to stop by from time to time, to change the recipes, to see those smiles. That can make everything worth it. It is one of the reasons why I wanted to get the Skyfire built. This is one of my own dreams. It is one of my own hobbies. Am I going to always be here? No. That this is why I am not the ship's master. That is why I have Marcus here. He can take the reins when it is necessary, but I can always have this to return to. It is the anchor of my life at the moment. Maybe you needed the same thing. This is something you were working to as well.
I don't know if I've got my anchor yet, Zep. This is remarkable that you have accomplished. Oh, there's just something more I'm supposed to do, and I don't know what it is yet.
So, I take it the rest of the party, you don't want to venture out of the ship during the middle of the night. So,
no.
As morning comes, and first light flickers, Zep, you are made aware that there are a number of townspeople crowded outside the ship, gawking at, to use the word, just gawking at the marvel of a skyship landing outside of their city, or their town.
Well, our arrival has definitely been noticed.
I'm going to remain on the ship while you guys can figure out what's going on.
What's the plan?
Trading bristles. My father is a count. This is a trading port. Stock up on good wines with intention to sell them elsewhere. If there is a copy of me or somebody related, they are going to have to be involved, I would think. My father would be mentoring them to make sure everything goes correctly.
Would your father be involved in the day-to-day trading affairs, or would we need something more?
DM?
I mean, the town is full of guilds and ships do come and go. It's not. So, Othray as a nation has two of the largest port towns in the entirety of Longreach. Gibraltar is less of one of those, but is one of the final stops before they go to the major port towns. So most of its industry outside of its own like wineries, which a lot of Othray is known for, is like ship supplies. So it would depend on the trade. However,
would us not coming in a big ass ship be like notable enough that the Count may want to take an interest?
It could well be. That's up to you, friends.
There are a number of different things we can do. From my own experience, city rulers do not usually get involved with trade like this. They are more for the running of the town. But there are always reasons that a group like ours could approach them. See if there's any work to do. We have our own reputation.
This country just found itself at war. Surely they have something that they need us to do that everyone else suddenly can't.
I think that trade will be a very good way to get more information from the people here, but to actually meet the rulers, we would need something more. Perhaps if we wanted to play on the status of the ship itself, we could invite him for a look around, but that would then risk him actually being on board when Ruby is.
If things go sideways for whatever reason, just make enough noise and I'll come.
Ruby could stay in her room. I mean, inviting a dignitary onto the ship doesn't mean we need to show them every single bedroom.
I kind of want to keep the invitation as a trick up the sleeve in case we actually want to create an encounter between Ruby and her father.
Still want to focus on having a personal conversation with this not Ruby.
So I would say let us approach the Count, was it, to see if there's any work to be done. We are skilled. We have the proper accreditation and the paperwork to prove that we are who we say we are.
So we could get some money out of it.
There is always this as well.
We did take a little bit of a loss coming here. May as well try and recoup some.
I agree.
So, who is exiting the ship?
Zedaar is going.
To the group
So
except Ruby.
Yeah, who's going where? Are we all going to the Count then?
I mean, is this a situation where do we really want to split the party?
I mean, I can just get Lena to do the
Yeah.
talking to the merchants again to see if she can get any more.
We have a
Current
merchant
information.
person for a reason.
Yeah.
I thought the plan was to confront the fake Ruby directly, not go to the Count.
No. I mean, the most likely place to find her is at the Count.
So
As
he's
Ruby said.
responsible for the entire region, but I was under the impression that she was the direct ruler of this town.
The Count is not the owner of the region. Okay, so Gavir Armory is the capital of the county, and this part of the county, yes, it's recently... but the full land would be entitled to the Duke of the region. So...
I apologize, I did not specify how big of a region I was talking of.
Yeah, sorry. The lands are around the town, pretty much, and the town are now under the Sunderstar family.
Why don't we take a stroll through town first and see if we can happen by this not Ruby before
Imagine
we
if
go
somebody
to the
is...
Duke or the Count.
Imagine if it is a copy or some... If it is a different woman masquerading as Ruby, the most distinctive feature at first glance is, of course, the hair. If we see anyone with fiery, burning red hair, chances are that's the person we're looking for.
So why don't we go see if they're in town first?
It also might be my mother. Just by the way.
Well, imagine she looks a little bit older.
Probably a little bit.
Walk through town first would be good, though.
Oh, she'll give everybody a sandwich to go.
Yay!
Nice. Okay. Well, okay, so you venture out to the town. So just if you're looking at the map, I've reposted it in the Discord, and it's also in game if you want to use the images in game. You have landed sort of on the southern side of the city, towards the what is the area known as the Grapevines. And the area you see is like you found a clearing patch of land, but behind you is all vineyards up the hillside. And these areas around seem to be wineries and like presses. There's a lot of industry around here. But you make your way towards the town wall and into the town. And whoever is helming the party going into the town, go ahead and give me an investigation check. Also, there are a number of a couple of the crew when you get out the ship are like talking to local peasantry. Trying to keep them away from the ship slightly, and you notice the halfling marine is kind of like, right, yeah, I know it's a wonderful thing, but I need you all to kind of keep back if you can. Look, we're a private enterprise, and out of our own security, I need you. And he's just going on and just trying to get crowds from, trying to walk onto the ship.
Well, apparently you rolled a 9 on our investigation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the worst person to roll that actually was the one who rolled it.
Yeah, probably.
How like bustling is this town? You know, is there a lot of commotion going on, or
It depends on what part of the town you're in. If you're in
where we
like,
are now?
where you are now, it's not overly commotion. Like I said, it's a lot of industry where you are, but as you go into the town itself, it starts to pick up again. It's nowhere near some of the liveliest cities that the party had been to, nor is it anything like Pitvalley, but it is notable. There is a lot of day-to-day goings on here. There's a lot of trade, and there's a lot of people, like, you see people bringing like shipments from like the slightly outer areas of the town where there seems to be like a lot of rope making, etc., down to the dock. And if you look towards the sea, there is just every hour there is a new ship coming in. Essentially, it is busy. Othray as a whole, as a kingdom, is very trade centric.
Are like well, I guess the better question is, are like the streets crowded, or do we have enough room to kind of get by without like being single file?
It's not single file by any means. Actually, as you're walking around, you do see that there are buildings that are still kind of demolished, like with very apparent fire damage. But because of this, it seems like a lot of the paths and roads have been widened.
Okay.
And it seems like actually Zedaar would notice this. There seems to be, as you're walking through the town, you actually see an individual draped all in like fine orange clothes with a scroll talking to and explaining stuff to a lot of workmen who look like they're having to listen. And you actually pick up a little bit of the conversation. They seem to be an architect that's remodeling the city to make it more fire conscious in the future.
Seems like the fire that took place here has taken up a fair significance of their recent history. Yet it's... So either Anrayne was not blamed for it, or she really owned up to it. The fake one, not the real one.
So Zedaar's the only one that noticed that, and you're just talking to us about it?
Yeah, Zedaar, I'm sure, points it out. Do you? Would you?
Sure. I mean, that was me pointing it out, but
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I was just clarifying. Should we go and maybe see what the cause of the fire was? I mean, that wouldn't be too out of place, would it?
If you're just trying to compare stories to what we've heard, I suppose it would be a start to information.
I'm glad that cities can rebuild like this. Could we see when we were in the... Oh no, it was night. I was going to say from the air, like what level of destruction there had been. Like, can we see what was new?
Yeah, you couldn't see as you arrived. You could have taken a moment to have a look from the top deck from where because it's still a sizable ship, but
I didn't think about it when I was
whether the elevation will be able to see over the walls is a different thing.
I suppose this is a place to start from this.
make our way over to this architect. Call out.
Hello there. Do you have a moment to speak with a curious traveler?
And did you see them go? Okay, so Team B, you're going over to the east of the town. You're going to start working on the Gourd district. Yeah, one moment, please. As he turns to you. Okay, everybody, gentlemen, ladies, you know your jobs, and go ahead with your day. Yes. How may I be of service? As he turns back to you, is a human, middle-aged, kind of somewhat gaunt-looking individual, but there's enough makeup on their face that hides their pale complexion.
Well, We happened to overhear your conversation about the damage this town sustained in a fire, and we were just curious. How did such a thing happen?
Oh, well. It seems you're passing by, of course. The interest in the fire and, of course, by extension, my new ground plan and work is welcome. I believe the fire began when a spark hit a certain shipment in part of the trade district, and it in a storehouse, and the storehouse fire then spread to the nearby buildings, and it was relatively late in the evening, and nobody saw the fire before it was too late, and only by demolishing a few buildings could they stop the fire in the end. In fact, a lot of the fire was stopped spreading by the town walls itself. But,
wow, that is illuminating information. And you mentioned specifically you wish to make this place more fire conscious. Could you partake in telling me how that was going to be done? Out of my own curiosity.
Oh, absolutely. One of the main reasons the fire spread was because of how close and compact a lot of the buildings were. By making a more regimented road system, widening the streets, stopping the use of certain highly flammable materials in building practices, moving away from thatching, all sorts. It really cuts down on fire. And it then goes on, depending on how quick you are to stop the individual, literally starts spieling off elements of architecture that he's looking to change about the city. He's waiting for approval on some things, but he's mainly got the road layout, new road layout mapped out, and it's just...
the new city's name is Asbestos.
I'm just gonna cut off. Was there any foul play suspected in this spark causing?
I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. It's a good thing the Count noticed the fire when he did. He was on a late night stroll when it happened, and he alerted the town. And we're glad we managed to, catch it before it was way too late, and you would be looking at a mere ruin around us. And of course, they brought me in to commit to a fine new plan of the city. He goes back to his absolute attire. Also, you notice that all of the workmen, the 40+ workmen that were around, have gone as well. They're almost thankful that you have drawn the attention of this architect.
Speaking of that, who is overseeing the funding for this rebuilding project? Is it the Count himself, or...?
Absolutely, it's being paid for quite generously out of the Sunderstar family treasury.
We are a group of maybe not well-known adventurers, but people who are known for being able to provide certain assistance in places that are needed. Would you happen to know where we could make contact with the family Sunderstar?
Well, the family estate is just out of the town, inside of the Greyhorn, just up towards the hills. It's a lovely area of town. I tend to take frequent walks there myself. There is some of the great architects of our time have built villas in that area for various Nardathelian, not just Othrayan, but Nardathelian royal families. There's a pinnacle of architecture in all one place.
Zedaar is not cutting him off during any of this. He is way too polite. So unless somebody else interrupts, he's just going to get to talk and talk and talk.
I'm going to interrupt him. Are you the only architect in this town?
I am not the only architect in this town. No, I am merely in charge of doing the eastern quadrant of the trade town.
Who has the most important section of town?
Well, arguably to anybody, the trade of this town is what is the lifeblood of this town, and I would say I'm at least up there, if not on par, with the most important.
Who would be on par with you?
Samson Wisely. He looks across the market square where you are to a very similarly dressed individual in all green, who is also currently talking to a group of workmen. He's in charge of the western quadrant of the trade town.
And forgive me that we have not asked already, but what is your name? I am quite eager to relay some of the work that you are doing here back in my home in Lederungsland.
Oh, my name is Willemond Wisely.
So here's your brother then. A little bit of a sibling rivalry, I detect.
Twin brother.
Even more intense then.
He thinks he's everything because he was born 2 seconds first. You know how it is.
I'm sure that means you came out faster.
See, I like this gentleman's thinking. Thank you, I'm going to use that.
Zedaar looks visibly confused.
Anyway, is there anything else I can help you with? I'm sure you don't want to listen to me chatter about the various crenellations of the city wall all day.
Well, unless you would be able to help provide us a meeting with, not the Count, obviously. I imagine he's a very busy man, but someone who officiates for House Sunderstar, then we'll just take our chances and make our way there.
Well, actually, you're kind of in luck. It's the day before week's end, which means the Count will be holding court today.
That is fortunate indeed.
So, I believe the halls of his manor will be receiving guests and individuals with squabbles and various other things myself and my brother are due there later for redress about certain issues, but I digress. Yes, I believe you may be able to see him.
Well, thank you for your time.
And for your efforts in rejuvenating the city. They are quite impressive.
Well, so kind of you to notice. Cheerio then. I should get back to my great work.
While they're all doing this, Ruby is going to go into her room, put on one of her conservative robes, tie her hair back so it doesn't get anywhere, tie it real tight, put a hood up, and make up to make her look a little more dirty. And she is going to attempt to disguise herself as best as one is capable.
Okay.
And she's going to walk off the ship.
But can it take us to abandon the plan?
Have you got a disguise kit?
No.
Okay. Give me a... Let's just go with that.
I think it was like 12 minutes before that was just thrown out the window of that idea.
Let's go with let's go with a dexterity check. Give me a dexterity check or an
deception.
No, that's verbal deception. I would say.
Okay.
I would say either a straight dex or a stealth roll.
Stealth roll means okay.
Okay.
Can I use my inspiration? I don't have one. Never mind.
You don't have one. We'll come back to that for sure.
Sure.
It's on the gangplank. Hey, that's Anrayne.
So the rest of the party.
You're leaving a ship where 30 people are watching the ship.
Yeah.
From the sidelines, just like, who's that?
We should have kept someone to literally just sit on her so she couldn't leave.
So the rest of you, what are you doing?
Oh man.
I suddenly feel like urgency is a matter. We should probably make our way up to speak with the Sunderstars as soon as possible.
I think we should take our time. You got no time limit.
Okay.
It would allow us to see a little bit more of the city. I am eager to see more of their rejuvenation. It is good to see a city recover as it is.
Zedaar, as you stand in the main market square, you look back towards the gate which you entered, and down the main street, you clearly see an individual that looks like Ruby entering the main gate from where you are, and your massively high passive perception.
Yes, he's just gonna stop for a second and look over there.
No!
No. And he's just gonna break off from the group.
Sure.
I'll follow.
I imagine the two of us just like a cartoon, like somebody trying to sneak in, and the two guards just lift them up by the arms and just carry them out against their will.
So Ruby, you think you are well disguised, but
the girl has way too loud of a personality and look to stand to be disguised.
you tied your hair back. That's not a disguise.
Put some makeup on. Like, Ruby just did herself up. You could have thrown mud on your face.
Hood!
You could have done anything.
My
to
visual
cover yourself.
image of this is that Ruby tried to make herself look like a muddied peasant, but she gets out of the ship and she just like stands bolt upright, like normal, like dignified, like a no.
She literally walked off the ship and walked in. It's just like, and you now see Zedaar and the rest of the guys just barreling towards you.
You made your face dirty, but you didn't make the robes dirty. Totally clashed.
Like, you just walked into the town like Belle in the beginning of Beauty and the Beast, where it's like she is in a beautiful white and blue robe with flowing hair and a kind of grotty grey hood. That's the only. That's the only level of disguise.
Can it not be like a full like hood? It's just like a riding hood. It just goes midway down.
All right.
Continue.
I thought we had a plan, Ruby.
Did.
It's been less than 12 minutes. We haven't even gotten. You can still see the ship.
We had one conversation.
Admittedly,
We
a long
actually
one.
found out some useful piece of information. We're going to follow up on it when you walked in.
Fine.
As
Turns around and
you
goes,
as you turn around, Ruby,
God damn it.
you behind you see a group of guards. One of them looking to be an individual covered in heraldry, the heraldry of your family. So you're very aware of it. And he goes, Miss Sunderstar, is these individuals bothering you?
No, sir. They were giving me a tour of the ship.
These are the people from the sky ship. Yes, I wonder if you could, I mean, we're not gonna ask you to move it now. It is, bygones be bygones, and seems, Lady Sunderstar is, okay with it. But, in future, get a little bit further away from the vineyards. Oh, I'm going German. A little bit further away from the vineyards would be perfect, thank you. My lady, would you like escorting back home?
No, I'm fine. Carry on with your duties.
I am not sure your father would like you to go around unguarded.
And?
Yeah.
Make a persuasion or an intimidation check, your choice.
Apparently,
26.
Zep's power just went out.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah. I thought it was something like that because he froze midway and half of his face was without light. It's like that happened.
Let me get a backup camera in here.
Well, it's a great view of the top of my head.
I just realized from these guys' perspective, you're just like an early 20s like noble woman who is sneaking out of the castle with a very almost no disguise.
The funny thing is, if this is something that she does regularly, it tells us more about the fake Ruby.
Yep. Little did you know. You played right
You
into
do this all the time.
Yeah.
Not you, but the other you.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened?
All right, Zep power went out.
Oh balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting in the fake cam.
Put it in fake Zep. Okay. Oh no, it's moved your.
No, I'm Zep.
Oh no.
No, wait, no, it's corrected.
Has it
Yes,
corrected?
I'm Zep. I checked the stream.
Oh no. That's fine. It's
So,
add
what
your
we are
works
going
off.
to do is we are going to make our way to Sunderstar Manor.
I can't do that. I can't do German as well as I can do other accents. Damn it! I haven't practiced it.
That
But
just sounded like
that is a 26
Zedaar
anyway. Going back
doing
to
a
this.
German accent.
Our German accent.
It's a hard Zedaar. So, yeah, of course, my lady. But of course, if you do require any assistance, if it seems these individuals with you are more than capable of protecting you if anything goes wrong. I'm going to get gentlemen, my lady.
I think the vineyards could get a good tour.
You want us to go to the vineyards?
I do. I think
Very
you
well.
should spend the rest of the day there contemplating approaching me with that attitude.
It's very well, very well. Go. And this guard and the group move away.
Well, hopefully that mistake I just gave you will give them at least a day to contemplate their actions and not inform the captain, my father, that I am out.
It's the bluff. It's like, yes, I have a straight. This is-
Well,
What are you guys doing?
I guess a little subterfuge is pointless now. Let's just make our way to the manor.
I guess now we have a time limit.
Ruby's gonna go back on the ship.
Actually,
Stay with us now.
yeah, that trigger's already been pulled.
Well, at least a day.
20 people saw you leave that ship.
Fine, let's go.
And actually, as you're walking along, an old woman comes up. She's like, "Oh, Miss Sunderstar, these are for you," and like hands you a bunch of flowers that she's picked. It's like,
We
"Thank you
haven't
for
been here a
being so
half hour
kind
yet."
and caring to us," and then walks off again. Like,
So there's somewhere between Ruby is torn between her own stupidity and her own exasperation. Like, I don't even know what emotion she's supposed to feel right now, other than, damn it.
Barely got a block into this place.
Oh, let's throw something else on that. Don't forget, accepting gifts that were not meant actually for you.
so
Ruby will take them. Thank you.
So nothing is being done to disguise Ruby anymore. I need to confirm.
Nope. Clearly that was the choice for that to be abandoned was taken from us, and we're just gonna go to the manor.
The worst thing you could have done, the worst thing you could have done was stand on the top of the ship and look out without a costume on, and just wave.
Sure.
Everybody.
No problem.
All right, enough razzing me. We got roleplay to get to.
So,
Well,
no,
about
this is
that.
us rat syncs
that-
movie.
As you progress,
That sounded like Darius to me.
the
We're all
more
gonna die. I want you to know that this is your fault and you're gonna pay for it.
that the friendly looks
I'll get
begin to change to a look of curiosity. This group of adventurers is with a noble of the town, but you also, Zedaar, you definitely pick up on this. And others feel free to make a perception check. But Zedaar, you notice that there are more people stopping and staring than before.
Of course.
Boom, natural 20. I'm never getting
Okay,
another one of those
I'm
again.
gonna quickly whisper you something.
Miss Sunderstar, you look far more annoyed than usual.
I actually would have to imagine that this particular Ruby, if there is in fact a clone of Ruby out there, 8 months difference with a lot of combat. This Ruby probably looks a little more haggard, or at least more, I don't know, muscle toned, worked out.
I
Because he probably wouldn't be that.
I will
haggard. You
also
don't get hit a lot.
send the same thing to Darius because Darius also meets the requirement for that.
I was gonna say, muscle toned and worked out. How often does Ruby work out when she's throwing magic?
Training with
areas. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, not a lot, but yeah, some.
enough that I now have skill proficiency in short swords. Okay,
Yes,
that works.
That is the thing that happens. So that is fair.
But you
So-
Making your way up to the manor, yes.
So I'm just gonna say this aloud, just to us. Probably should, I don't know, lose it. We should probably lose a tail that we currently have behind us right now. Don't look back.
Is there any alleyways into, like, I don't know, warehouse yards, or, you know, this place burned down recently? Is there anywhere that there's, like, you know, that we can that'll have a lot of cover but also, like, not populated?
Actually, hold on. If we can do that, Zep, you have invisibility prepared, as you've just said aloud, because that's in the chat. That's said. He has invisibility prepared, and he's willing to use it on Ruby. So
It only lasts for a minute though.
it'll break.
That's
It'll
for an
break.
hour.
Oh, an hour? Okay.
It's an
Yeah,
hour.
it's an hour.
As long as you
So if
don't
we can break
break
line of
Invisibility.
sight.
Yeah, as long as you don't break it with combat.
Yeah, if we break line of sight and then come back out without, they'll go on a search. But we can, plausible
Okay.
deniability.
Fine. Yes, that'll work. Break line of sight.
Cool. Okay, you attempt to break line of sight. After someone who is helming the party into whatever this sort of alleyway or whatever, roll a survival check.
I guess I was the one that brought it up.
Well, I brought it up.
Or
what
a
do you
stealth
have?
check. Survival or
stealth-
stealth, depending on how you want to do this.
I got this.
Gordon's a
Darius.
dog, just
Darius, I got
apparently along
this.
for the ride.
You have a -1 to these rolls. Why do we let
Okay,
you do things?
So, okay,
I'm gonna,
Darius, because
I'd
you're the
like to
one who's
assist
been
him.
keeping an eye on this.
Can I put myself in the line here, and I want to try persuading them through shop talk. I want to
you-
surreptitiously just like 180 and just go like, oh, is that a two-hander you've got? I just want to delay him for like 2 minutes.
Okay. What point are you trying to do this? Because this is you guys have gone into
Basically,
an alleyway and then you've
assume-
instantly come back. Is that what
Well,
I'm?
I assume, since the way this is working out, Valmir said he's got this, so I assume he's got it. So,
Okay.
so I don't go into the alleyway. I immediately do a 180. I know it's gonna look bad. Either they'll arrest me or they'll just talk to me for a minute. Either way, it helps everybody else out. So,
If
Okay.
we do manage to break line of sight, I want to cast Minor Illusion, and I want the illusion to be of Ruby sat down on a chair.
Where?
Out of line, like, break line of sight, say if we go around a corner, like, at the corner, there's going to be that illusion. And
Right. Sure. Okay. No worries. You do that, please. Does it require a spell slot with that?
it does.
Okay. Mark off your spell slot usage. Darius.
No,
you-
it doesn't. It's a cantrip. Ha.
Oh.
I just, yeah, it's a minor image. It's a PlayStation 1 low poly version of Ruby on a
Right.
chair.
No, it looks like her.
Is it
It's
3D?
perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It just doesn't move.
It just doesn't move, make any noise, has no effect on the ground.
Okay, so-
but I want to try and non-hostily delay them through persuasion to just talk to me.
Okay.
I just want them to talk to me.
Okay, give me your quick persuasion. Get fast talk this. I want to hear what you're saying, because this is going to determine on how many people stop. Because it is a group of about 7 guards now, hurriedly jogging with weapons drawn.
Hurriedly jogging with weapons drawn. Just want to. I want to use. I'm trying to use Darius's vast experience in combat and on fields of everything. I want to try and comment on. I want to try and start a shop talk. I want to try and do that with my force of personality. Yes. Okay.
This is going to be a very high DC.
Wait, weapons drawn?
Yeah, weapons have been drawn. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing
Hostile intent coming at us?
Yeah. Also, Ruby, you are invisible.
Okay.
Okay. They barrel through you.
They barrel through me.
Please don't kill them.
I wasn't going to kill them.
You can't. You're away from the party, Darius.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not. Well, I wasn't going to kill them initially because all I know is that these guys are defending against a threat. Because we've heard nothing but that Ruby burned this place to the ground. So it's valid what they're doing.
So, back to the rest of the group. You managed to turn Ruby invisible. However, the alleyway that you've gone into is very much a dead end surrounded by burnt buildings. There is now a minor illusion at the corner of Ruby, and the rest of you are sort of crowding round in this what used to be what looked to be a full-on alleyway that may have gone into another street, but has since, like, because of subsiding buildings, been completely blocked off. And you are in a dead end with a illusion behind you. Ruby is just made invisible, and a number of guards like stagger around the corner, look to the illusion. Is there a DC save to realize if this is an illusion or not?
Pretty low
yes,
DC.
It's my spell save DC. What is my spell save DC?
I'm gonna roll a check for myself here.
You would probably
What is your
know.
spell save DC?
He made
don't
motions past it, right?
No. There's something that Zedaar, I'm making that roll for Zedaar, and I'm asking what his spell save DC is, just so I can play off of that.
I don't know. How do I?
What's your charisma modifier?
My charisma modifier is +5.
So it's 16.
Yeah.
16.
Because it'd be 11 plus your casting modifier.
As they come around the corner, Zedaar starts waving his hand through the illusion and starts saying, "Where did she go?"
We're fucking horrible at this. I just want to say we're gonna die.
The worst thing is these guys have no. Is this charisma?
Yeah.
Do I need to roll a deception check?
No, they would need to do a.
Do they need to make a check? Zedaar's got his hand through it.
They need
Okay,
through the
guys,
illusion is coming out. Where did she go?
it's
I'm
an
going to
investigation
break.
check they need.
Oh, it's an investigation, so it's worse for them. So that means they get a plus nothing. An investigation is an intelligence base.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
plus nothing. I rolled for the 4 that have turned around the corner so far. A 9, a 14, a 4, and a 3. However, there is a very helpful dragon. There is a very helpful dragonborn putting his hands through an illusory ruby, so all of them suddenly go, "What on earth? This is who are you?" And one of them is like sword pointed towards you guys. It's like, "Who are you? And where's the lady gone?"
That's what I am asking.
She just sat down.
I want to like jump up a little bit, like I'm trying to see over them, and be like, "Is that her over there?"
Oh shit! As he does this, another minor illusion, and it's gonna be a sound over there somewhere. Just where.
I will also roll a
sound?
deception check. I'll roll a deception check and just like, there she went! And
You're not with them right now, Roach.
I can't be like 30. I can't be on the opposite side of the.
Followed them back.
I would have followed them.
Okay, you followed. But they were.
Not
Did you
minor
run
illusion, a
after the
thaumaturgy.
running guards, or did you obviously run after the running guards, or did you just walk? Because that makes a difference.
Were they jogging or were they sprinting? Because
When it was a jog towards you guys to try and gain ground, but when they noticed them go around the corner and you come towards them, they sprinted. to catch
okay,
up.
then I
What was on
wouldn't.
the other
Then
side?
then I would argue that I wouldn't be that far away in the beginning because I wouldn't have time to get far away from the corner.
You're not that far. It's just it's immediacy of actions. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
I'm just-
are you
I'm just saying-
in a position, because not even all of the guards are around the corner yet while this is happening.
Yeah.
So I'm
I'll just-
saying, are you in a position to see them
Do you want
cast
me
a
to make
spell and
a luck
shout?
roll? Because I'm just gonna say it didn't work. 'Cause
Gourd, give
four
me
of
a
them just said
deception
aloud,
check.
"What's going on?" What?
So Gourd,
A
give me a
deception
deception check, because you are trying to deceive them that there is a illusionary ruby. And Valmy, did
Can
you
I
say a
give him-
scream?
Yeah, I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make a scream behind him. So can that be like
I'll allow it to be
action
at
in a way?
advantage. I'll allow that to be an advantage with that.
I love that
Roll-
Zedaar is the
roll
one that
another-
initiated this deception, but he didn't have to do anything in this exchange.
Roll again.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
At
gotta
advantage, a 12. One of them turns around. The rest are like still hard fixed on you, and the other other 4 guards kind of fully catch up now and are kind of looking around. And Darius, you also round the corner if you want to at this point behind the guards.
Still, I know. No, Darius is just like, he's behind them all. He's just like, we're fucked. We're dead.
Sword pointed towards you, and Zedaar, they're like, one of them is like also now next to you, like kind of waving the. Wait, does the first illusion go when you do the second sound? Is it concentration, Valmir?
It's not. No, it's the second one was thaumaturgy.
Okay.
Like
okay.
the minor illusion is still going.
Okay.
Actually,
okay.
I'll drop that. That's useless now.
There's something.
Just a
as it
question:
goes.
Do you have like subtle cast as my GM
Thaumaturgy
senses?
is just verbal, so I'll be like, "Ah," and then scream.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
the point.
Yep. No, I'm just asking because at this point, what does it matter? We're going to jail.
So wait a second. Hold on here. Only one of the guys looked, and at the same time you were trying to scream.
No, the scream originated from behind them.
No, he was speaking abyssal or something. A scream happened on the other side of them.
It wouldn't have been abyssal for me. I think I actually know that language though.
You do, as a
was-
tiefling.
I
As
No,
a
I
tief-
don't. It's
really?
infernal. I know.
Oh,
Infernal.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that is
okay.
abyssal. Oh no, it's not. There is a subtle difference. One's the more common version. Anyway,
Hell versus,
so
like,
this
demons
is
versus
what's
devils, isn't it?
happening. This is annoying because obviously Zep isn't here to chime in, but as it stands, you're all now at weapon point. Darius, you're not because you're not with the group, but there is 2 that are keeping a heavy eye on you because you're close to this.
I'm like looking at them like, what's going on?
Okay. Give me a quick deception check just for brevity's
Sure,
sake.
why not?
But the rest of... Well, this is the lady go, and who are you?
11.
That's enough to fool them.
Zedaar, after calculating a few things in his head, is just going to shrug his shoulders and try and find a good medium between the truth and a lie.
We were here in hopes of finding work with Miss Anrayne Sunderstar. We are the adventuring company Skyfire. Or the Skyfire Adventuring Company. We were walking with her when she disappeared on us. Now we do not know where she has gone.
One of the other guards, that's not the one that's angrily with sword pointers, goes, How do we tell the count that she got out again?
What do you mean got out?
We thought he'd eat us. Like this was a normal thing.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Make a deception
What the hell was
check,
that illusion?
Valmir, make a deception check. It was
that
going
be-
so well, and then you mentioned the illusion.
Sometimes there's such thing as too much help.
No, I got this. I don't got this.
No, you
Oh, boy.
don't. No, you don't. You got
Okay.
shit.
Why would you tempt fate like that?
This is clearly... there clearly is something to do with it. All of you need to accompany me to the guardhouse. Now. We have more questions that cannot be done in the open here.
Or kind of rubs his forehead.
Oh boy.
Should I
Why
come
did
out?
I never
Should
believe
Ruby come
me?
out?
Where? I
In
don't know
a
where Ruby
different
is.
alley,
The
away
question,
from everybody.
Already
Yeah.
gone.
Oh yeah, Ruby's long gone. She's already at home.
give me a stealth check at advantage because you are invisible.
Please don't trip or something in a puddle of water.
Oh,
mean, can we roll better?
Okay. So what is the passive perception?
Of a guard? Like 8.
These aren't guards. These are slightly heavily armed. Yes, these are knights.
Knights. Oh, might be 11, I think.
Passive
usually.
perception of 10. So
Ooh.
it's a little bit hairy, Ruby, but you do, because you splash in a puddle next to one of them, but one of them looks and then doesn't give it a second mind because of the cacophony of bizarreness going on in front of them. And you do make it
a failure.
Yeah, so you do make it to another alley.
Ruby's gonna drop the invisibility and just come around the corner. What is going on?
What the fuck?
Not
I
letting you
have
guys
a
get arrested.
question. It is not your spell. Can you drop it?
She could attack a wall.
Just
She can punch a wall.
Or casts a spell, so.
Yeah.
Punch
a
if
wall.
she attack or
The
cast.
digitator close and she becomes visible.
Well, I thought
Wait, is it any spell that was an attack spell?
I thought it was you have to specifically target it. I need to read invisibility.
It
Make
is
an attack
already
roll.
if you attack or cast a spell.
Yeah.
Just
Well-
tap a wall. Bang!
Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, so.
I mean, she can literally put the digitator makeup off, and that
Yeah.
would end the spell.
Yeah.
You have press.
Or cast a
I guess
spell, yeah.
prestidigitation.
So prestidigitation. Okay, you would know that, I guess, because it is a sorcerer spell. Okay. Okay, you prestidigitate and you come around the corner. And what is it you say?
It seems the efficacy of my god force is not up to standards. You fall for simple tricks.
Wait a second. How did you get over there?
Just stop talking. Just stop talking.
Who are you?
No, we are piling on. Everybody's making mistakes. And Dark's gonna say, "Did we perform the job admirably, Miss Sunderstar?"
Okay,
You
Ruby,
fell-
I need a
Somebody make a check.
I need a disadvantaged persuasion or deception check.
Disadvantaged, okay.
I'll do it.
Disadvantage.
I'll do it.
I
Right.
have.
That,
Do it.
Would have been a natural 20.
but it's a dirty 20.
Good. Somebody's got deception.
You are aware that our country has had war declared upon it, yes?
Oui, madame, I do. And he then turns to you and starts speaking in Fionian. But if you remember, your father has told us that you are not allowed to leave the house. Not right now. Not with everything going on without a guard complement. So for you to be out here, I would be risking my title to your father. And I do not want that.
And you are here. You have not disobeyed any orders that I am aware. But I am not going to sit idly by, and my father would agree with you on this one, while the elves are pressing down on our borders. I have hired an extremely talented and a well-equipped, she'll point to the ship, or at least the area where the ship is from, adventuring company to assist us in defense of my home. I felt they needed a test. It seems they have some work to do.
Yes, we've been hired.
Make another... Are you speaking in Fionian as well? Oh, because you're next to her, because
Yes.
you're not with the others.
I'm not with the others. Yes.
Roll me another quick persuasion check.
Persuasion.
24.
I did not know your father had let you have a portion of the family coffers yet. I was under the understanding that was not until you were wed. Either way, madame, I must escort you home. Now. And he doesn't say that like he's treating you as a superior. He understands that you're a rank of nobility, but he has an order.
Skyfire, I believe you know what to do from here.
Yep.
Do not worry about arresting these individuals, but they will be they've keep going back into German because we've been doing it for so long. But these individuals will be joining us at the at the palace. So, tout sweet, let's go.
She will go with them.
We wasted spell slot, 2 spell slots.
And you all continue towards the
Our
palace.
trustworthiness.
And then you get to the gate. Oh, actually, unless there's anything you want to discuss on the way.
No, Zedaar's just gonna kind of whisper to the group.
Don't worry. If we lose track of her, I know how to find her.
Okay.
Oh,
The various
We
knights
really-
are also now flanking you.
really need to work out languages that we all know together. So we can. I know Draconic. I don't know if everybody knows Draconic though.
With
I'm a-
Gourd here, I don't know.
A majority. What, you mean the guy who has a literal pet dragon?
She will ask the guy, when's the last time you saw me, by the way?
Which one are you
Other
asking?
than the lead guard. When's the last time you saw me outside of today?
This is amazing. I love this little counter.
You spoke to me this morning, madame.
Good. No doppelgangers.
She did say outside of today.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. This is amazing. These guys are such idiots. Could just go. And what is your name? Just like,
And
then
you
probably just
begin to
answer.
walk
Do
up
I
a
actually
very...
recognize this guard? I'm sorry. Do I recognize any of these guards?
You do not. But then again, they are in plate full helms. So... It is not the clearest view, but no, none of these ring a bell.
Okay.
And you exit another one of the city gates, and an incline begins, more sharp than before, but the road is beautifully paved, and you start walking past large buildings, lots of villas, and sort of like some of them that don't even match the style of house, like of the kingdom. There's like a lot of. Have you ever walked down a road in like a holiday destination where it's just hotels that are all different themes? Kind of like that. Vegas without the lights kind of dealio you got going on. And you slowly climb the hill to where there is a, right on the very outskirts of town, there is a large walled estate. Not like a castle. It's only like a waist-high wall with a number of guards posted outside. And the individual that did most of the talking walks ahead of you slightly to the guards at the gate. And Zedaar, you pick this up. The chatter is, while you don't understand what is being said, there's an element of confusion between both individuals that are talking ahead of you. You have
Can
about
Ruby
a
understand?
minute.
I'm sorry.
You have about a minute before you'll actually get to them, because he like jogged ahead slightly beforehand.
Actually, this is a good point. I prepared this spell today because I thought it might come in handy. Can Zedaar just cast tongues?
What are the components of that?
Verbal and material. So he'd have to touch his holy symbol, and he would have to
Okay.
say something in Draconic.
I'm sure you can get away with that. Yes, you can cast tongues on yourself.
So this means that for the next hour, he understands all spoken language, and that anyone who hears him speak can understand, and understands the language, can understand what he says.
Okay. You hear.
So he's poorly dubbed for the next hour.
You hear. Bastion, we are bringing the lady home. She got out again, and says, "What do you mean she got out again? She's receiving guests inside with her father." Is what you hear.
Gonna have to kill guards. I think the ultimate goal of this is we're gonna have to kill people.
Knights, not guards.
I imagine they are escorting her straight to her at the moment, so this is going to come to a head very quickly.
Do you say that aloud and like?
He's whispering it over towards the group.
in common?
Well, it doesn't matter what's whispering in because you can understand it.
That's true. Oh,
I just got tongues on myself.
So you can't be secretive at all anymore.
I can't hide anything. That's why he's whispering it very quietly, basically like into the ears of the person next to him.
We're horrible at this. We're so bad at this.
Is very specifically horrible at this.
No,
This
even the ones that
is
are
still
good
not-
today are horrible at this. No plan.
One of the guards turns to you and says, "Sorry, could you speak up? I didn't hear what you said."
I wasn't talking to you. If I need to intimidate, I will.
Do it, yeah, do it, intimidate. Go on, quick, just.
Roll poorly, get us thrown in jail. It's the only way this can get even better.
sidetrack us into jail. How bad can it go?
This is literally what would have happened if we just walked into town with Ruby anyways, but we just super complicated all of it to get us
Ah! Do I just get slapped?
Jail time!
Come on. Yeah.
You know, Darius, that you have to put a little bass in your voice when you speak to somebody.
Yeah, but
You know,
it's
I
just
haven't
his voice broke because he was sick.
Yeah, I haven't
None of
drank
your
tea today.
business.
It's very dry here.
Oh, that hits.
I'm not
Darius,
used to it.
you take
Backhands Darius.
you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as this guy quicks, like half draws his sword and grip hits you over the back of the head.
Oh, you have no idea how badly I've wanted to do that for a long time.
Wait, you say that you've only known me for a day, according to 5 minutes ago.
No, Ruby does not say that out loud.
Okay, good. What story are we saying? No, Darius just
And he
screams
says,
like a woman. Just
he just-
just gets slapped.
"You let the Knight of the Realm speak, Hedge Knight."
It's actually I'm pledged to an organization. It's not a hedge knight.
That is
Yeah.
the son of the Reynald Trading or Reynald Mercenary Company. You will treat him with respect.
I mean, one of them, yes.
I will treat only someone who gives me the respect I deserve to.
For Ruby will actually stop walking and look at him. I'm sorry. You seem to be under the impression that I'm asking.
Oh,
He turns. The whole group at this point
Who's
stops.
loose?
And there's like everyone's like sort of tense. Give me an intimidation check.
For those of you following along in chat, if you all thought we came here to make friends, you got the wrong impression of this place.
I thought we were. I thought we were gonna.
We're here to get an
negotiating today.
understanding, not make friends.
The last time Ruby was here, she burned it down, and fuck, we're looking like we're gonna do it again.
It's a good thing they have those new fire prevention methods in effect.
I've been here 30 minutes. We made ourselves enemies of the state, and I've been slapped by a knight.
What his name was Willemden, I believe. We're gonna give him a lot more work.
So the knights, all of them are like they've been like walking 5 feet apart from you. They all kind of take a. Zedaar, you notice this, but they all kind of slowly start walking back, as almost to give you like so they're at sword length but not grabbable range. Like they're doing it subtly, but you notice it, and he goes, "Madame, I mean you no respect, but this foreigner, he needs to fall in line with our customs, and no mercenary should treat a knight such, especially not one lieged to a lord." And then at this point, I'll keep using Zedaar because he's the most perceptive. Actually, I'm not sure. Gourd, what's your perception?
Yeah, Gourd may actually be more perceptive than Zedaar.
I need to double check this.
21.
What is the pass?
Yeah, what's your?
Yeah,
that's your
21.
passive.
21?
That's your.
I
Holy
believe so.
shit! It is. Gourd, you notice that the guards from the gate
and
ahead of
we
you are
never hear from Zedaar's
hurriedly
voice
running
again.
towards you.
What was that?
What was that, Rich?
Gourd, you notice that the guards from the gate at the town ahead, the villa ahead of you, with the original guy who went over, are now hurriedly walking back. and then they see the protective stance of their knights and begin sprinting.
We've got more trouble coming.
Something tells me.
Plan
Do
F.
I see
plan
this
F. I say in
happening?
Draconic. Plan F. Do we go Plan F?
Would I, after Gourd says this, would I know what he's talking about? Would I see it as well?
Are weapons drawn? I'm not looking, sorry.
Weapons are not drawn yet, but everything is very tense.
Perhaps you can educate me then, good Sir Knight, as I am unfamiliar with the customs of this land. Is it customary to intrude into a foreigner's conversation when they are meaning not to be overheard?
It is very unaccustomed, especially when they are
What? Under
Under-
arrest? My
under-
understanding, we are not under arrest. We are
we
merely
being
being
detained?
escorted to the mansion. As guests of Miss Sunderstar, are guests in this land typically treated in such a way?
That is not Miss Sunderstar! As another individual cuts over the argument taken out. Men, ready. We must seize these imposters.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, God. Hold on. Before anything goes forward, I gotta roll a dice to see what Darius does.
This is already just have a
He has no directive.
Ruby,
Darius has no
Ruby will
directive
put her
right
hands
now.
up.
Okay.
Ruby,
Hold on.
hands up. Relax.
Can I punch the one that punched me?
No,
right
no,
before this
please.
happens?
Darius, please don't.
This happens in a second.
I don't
I rolled a
want-
dice.
Hold on. The individuals is... Mercenaries, put down your weapons. Come with your hands up. Ruby has put her hands up. Darius, what do you do?
This was like immediately before that happened because I just rolled it. I just rolled a Mayan agility check and I rolled a 16. So I just see what he did. I'm open hand slapping the one that slapped me.
He's moved 10 foot away from you. So you'd have to
Wanting to
move
fly.
towards
They
him.
did pull back.
They pulled back
did
into a
pull
defensive stance. And also you'd be
They
slapping
did
someone in
pull-
plate mail. So
Yeah, that was the insult.
okay. Okay, so what are you? I'll say again. What are you doing? You can go to make a lunch for him.
Zedaar points out,
Do I appear to be armed?
because he doesn't have any weapons.
True, but the rest of you,
You have
there's a few of them are.
The rest of them absolutely have weapons, but Zedaar is just
Valmir,
suggesting, like,
Valmir doesn't either. But I will say Valmir's weapon
That's
is invisible
true.
right now. But
I just have a
Darius
walking
is
stick.
covered in them. You've got. Do you not have it? Do you only have the walking stick with you? You don't have the rest of your armaments?
I wouldn't have the bow on me. I
Okay.
would have just had the walking stick, and I wouldn't have needed really my backpack or anything.
Braun is
yeah, I
with
am
you
the
and is
primary.
literally holding a spear and tower shield.
Doesn't he also have a gun on his shoulder?
Yeah. and Zep
People
is.
would probably say something, but he cannot drop that one.
It's built into him. It really is.
You're not worried. The
I've got
safety
it.
is on. It says Zep.
Wait, is it? So as they come running over and say, "That's not Miss Sunderstar,"
Okay, yeah. Gourd, what are you doing?
Keep
yeah,
lying.
I'm gonna basically.
Yeah, that worked.
Wait a minute. What do you mean she's not Miss Sunderstar?
Okay, that's your exit. Valmir? Because this is happening very quickly. I'm wanting initial reactions. So give me a deception roll just as a thing as well, because you are lying out your ass right now. Valmir, what are you doing? Are you doubling down on that kind of similar thing? Do you catch on, or are you doing?
I mean, I said I cast darkness, but let me roll an initiative thing just to see.
You're casting darkness,
No, I said that.
right? Okay.
But if I'd seen Ruby put her hands up, I probably wouldn't.
If darkness does go up, then
I will
think-
say that you would probably see her do that, like half begin to.
And technically, Zedaar is also kind of raising his arms
Yeah.
up because he's not. But he's more just like showing off he has no weapons. Just like, what the fuck is even going on here?
Yeah, Valmir, what are you gonna
Alright,
do?
no,
Surprise
alright.
round.
No,
Okay, Valmir puts his
I'll
hands up.
go to cast it, but then I won't.
Okay. Okay.
We could beat
Yeah.
7 of them.
It's about 10 of them now. Okay.
Skyfire, please do not hurt them.
I am unarmed.
instead of hitting him, the one that slapped me, I'm just.
So Tristan, go
Roll
inform the count
intimidation?
that there is an imposter
I don't want to
here,
roll anymore.
seeming to pretend to be the Miss. Pretend to be the lady. We will take the rest of these down to the guardhouse. Now, follow me. Let us go. And you are all. If you've dropped weapons, they are picked up by knights. Those of you, and one of them comes up to you, and Gourd, before he interacts, he goes, "Do you require this to walk?"
Yes.
He leaves it. Master Dragonborn, I apologize, but I need all armaments. I must take your shield.
As long as it is returned to me in the same shape that it was taken.
Oh, hey, I do have a shield.
Oh,
He would've
your
taken
shield,
the shield.
yeah, the
Yes.
shields have been
Yes.
taken. Because you could still hit someone pretty hard with a shield.
Yep.
So, any shields, visible carry, has been disarmed.
There would have been
from
like
you.
2 knives I'd have given over.
Okay.
So,
knives,
are
daggers.
they checking me?
Everything that is
'Cause
visible
I
on
was
you.
waiting for this. Like, we're
No,
gonna have to
I'm talking
see-
about what is considered a weapon to them, because Darius has a lot. And some of
Anything
it's
you
a
can
weapon,
hit
some of
or
it's not.
stab them or shoot them with is getting removed if it's visible on your person. If it's under like layers of armor, it would normally take time to like uncover. Like if you had a knife like taped to the inner thigh, they're not gonna go that deep. They are
Well,
literally
no, not
stripping
like that. But
this
things like 2 bags of crushed glass
they're
for
not taking
blinding
that.
people.
No. Anything that visit like
multiple flasks.
Those are clearly crafting ingredients. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it's-
I have a fire dragon
they're taking
fire.
shield, like they're not removing, asking you to remove armor either. They are literally taking shields
Okay.
and implements that you can hit them
Yeah,
or shoot
that actually
them with.
does hurt me.
Yeah, basically
I have
just for
several
their
shields.
safety. They're not trying to completely
Okay.
strip
No,
us,
I'm just.
right?
Yeah.
This still gives me options because I can still flashbang them. I have a
yes.
lot of those.
But you are then walked back down the hill, past even more confused guards and townspeople that it's seemingly that someone who looks like the lady is under arrest, and then one of them catches on and kind of moves into the middle of the group and sort of forcibly hides Ruby. If Ruby, you can try to resist, but the knight is essentially shoving your head down so that you are not gawked at.
Well, she'll just put her hood up. I have a hood, you moron.
They're seeing it kind of through it is the thing. He noticed that people were like stopped talking and was like, this could. The knight went, even if this isn't the lady, she might be hurting the lady's reputation, and is then kind of like paparazzi hiding you.
Ruby is not pleased with this.
But you are then all escorted to the guard station in the
It's gonna
center
be
of
so
town
simple.
and locked in prison. You are split.
What kind of prison?
You are split into groups. You are split into cells with 3 of you each. One cell is Zep. It's 3 and 4. Sorry, because Braun's there. Zep, Braun, Darius, and Valmir. And the other one is
That's
Gourd,
not a good
Zedaar, and Ruby.
Can we
And
see each
knights?
other? Is what I would ask.
A knight is posted at the gate, the grated gate of each cell. The cells kind of they have like, as soon as you go through the gated door, there is like a step down, so they're on like a slight like half subterranean level. And there is a simple table, 3 cots in each of them, and about what would be a standard window height, but because it's submerged, there is a grate between the two. It's also barred, but it would be 8 feet, 9 feet up. You could talk, you just wouldn't be able to see unless you boosted each other. But there is a knight now stood facing you all as well, at each door.
Is the door
What's
like
the-
solid with a little grate, or is it entirely like bars?
Yeah,
Solid with a grate.
Yeah,
Solid with a grate.
solid with a grate. Is there? So we can't see the other. We can't communicate with the other split of the party. It's just
you can
it's
talk. You
just
could
us
talk, yeah,
in
it's
separate.
it's in separate, but because of the little like middling hatch, which is probably for like airflow more than anything, you can talk and be heard, but you have to do it at a volume where those out the front would also hear, or try and boost yourselves up to the grate to speak through it.
So that didn't go well.
No.
What's the layout of the hallway? Because we would have seen that as we came in, right?
Sure. It is a single file hallway with some stairs at one end, which you came down on what looked to be cells on either side.
Okay, is there anything at the far end?
Seemed to be a brick
Or
wall.
is it just... Okay. And where is the guard? There's a guard posted outside against the wall of each of our doors?
Yes. Looking at the door, not back.
Yeah, they have their back against the opposite wall.
Yes.
On the
Oh,
opposite wall, is there more cells?
Yes, but it's like staggered, so like where your doors are in relation to the other wall is wall, and then the door would be between those two guards.
Ruby's gonna sit and get comfortable.
I've got an idea.
Don't.
You
You
can't
can't-
hear
you
us.
can't
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you're
It's
in
just
a
me.
different
It's just me and
cells.
him until Zep gets back. So I'm saying
And
it's a
Braun.
bad idea that we
So,
were here.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. Okay. So you guys say this is bad.
Yeah. So what's your idea?
I think I might be able to get them into another cell.
Okay. Is this it's like a mind
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
or
yeah,
is-
yeah. No, it's
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
it's a whole thing.
I have an idea as well that can couple with that.
Oh.
I take out an item that they didn't take from me because I'm just a bundle of useful items at this point in my multiple things, and there's a rod with a button at one end. So if we put this against a door, they won't be able to get out.
Unless the door swings the other way.
Unless it swings in, yeah. Or, I could just jam it against something, and either
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
eventually we'll find something that I can put this in and they can't get out. We'll figure-
Well,
Presuming these are like the actual handles, just put it in the handle and you're good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but however it works.
so can I walk up to the door, but like sort of offset a bit? Can I see through the bars on any of the on the cell on the other side?
Give me a perception check. And give me a quick perception check.
11.
It's a bit, even though you've got dark vision, the angles aren't quite right. And as you go to the door, the knight in front kicks the door and goes, "Hey, away from the door!"
My idea won't actually work. I needed to roll higher for my idea to work.
Let's go to the other
It's-
chamber with
It's either
Gourd,
middling or crap today. That's all it
Zedaar,
is.
and Ruby.
Ruby's sitting, just eyes closed and waiting.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question that I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask this for the sake of us and the sanity of the situation. You are the real you, right?
As far as I know. I don't want to cast any magic because up to this point I do not believe they are aware that I can. I am also concerned. I believe that the doppelganger of me has shown no such prowess yet. No. We'll see.
Well, I do not believe they would take my word for truth,
No.
even with magic compulsion in place.
Sooner or later, my father is going to come down here. And probably the other me. I can only hope that the other three are not causing problems.
Other 4.
Whatever.
Braun's silent protagonist in this whole campaign. He's the player character. If this was a video game. Okay.
Or just shakes his head and settles in for a short rest.
Yep.
Whole thing. Yep. Okay. To the other 3 of you, do you have anything? Do you have anything you would like to discuss in your cell? No? Okay.
Was that directed at just those 3?
No, that was the
That was
other
us.
3. That was you 3.
Oh, us. Oh, because Zep's here too, so wouldn't it be 4? Because it's Braun, Zep, us, 2. So
Yes.
it'd be
Sorry,
4.
you
Yeah, that's
4.
what,
But
that's what I thought.
Zep and Broad are one character when I'm saying you 3.
There's
There's
no
also-
vision to the outside, right? At all?
As in like the streets?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, there's
Like
no
outside,
there's no
outside.
street vision.
Okay.
Okay, Valmir, another pitch. Last one didn't work. Another pitch. I've got 3 of these, okay? And I can use these a lot. These create a blinding flash of light that will just blind someone for... It depends. Depends on how high they roll. But I can do this like 50 times or something like that. So if we really needed to, between my glass and these, we could just blind the whole guard force and then just
Also
walk out.
cast darkness on them.
Yeah, I mean, that works too. So, I mean, honestly, we could just make it so that it's impossible for them to continue with their function if we really need to. That or make this just a hellhole, this cell, a hellhole for them to come into.
Okay.
But then again, they could just toss a fireball or something.
Do you have any weapons?
I have this. I have an
It's
ink
just
pen. I have an ink pen, so we could fashion this into a makeshift shiv by just
So-
creating it against the
Brawn
cell.
is a weapon.
The
true.
3 the group team Dirty Protest is is working on their plan.
I'm willing to shiv a guard to get out of here.
But
I don't like being enclosed like this. I'm not a fan. Not happy.
Can I hear them whispering at all? Or like,
You hear
can I-
a-
like
With your
Kinda-
perception, you hear every
yes, with
fucking
your
word.
perception,
man.
you hear.
You actively hear me trying to
Passive
contemplate
perception
killing a
of
guard.
21. My God. You hear like a mix of every now and then you'll get a word, but mostly it's kind of Snoopy parent on the phone. Yeah, kind of.
Morgan makes a good point. He's also an artificer, so he could just make a gun.
You hear flashbang. Shiver guard.
Perfect. That's what we were hoping for.
Yeah. That's about the plan.
I
I
am-
think we need to be worried about the other 4. It sounds like something about flashbang and shiv a guard.
So we start a riot, and then we.
Is there anywhere in this cell that the
I
guard
hear riot
cannot see?
now.
Oh my god.
A lot of the cell can't be seen by the guard because it's up a step. It's up at like 4, 5 steps. Unless they went to the door, they couldn't see in.
Hey, DM, can we take a break?
Sure.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can. Yeah. Sorry, we are at the break time. Sorry, the daylight saving hours have completely thrown me off there. But okay, join us in 5 to 10 minutes time where we will be back with the second half of this. Until then, use this time, grab yourself a drink, and we will see you guys in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of tonight's broadcast. You join us as the party have been thrown in prison and are awaiting further word. Separate cells. We have Gourd, Ruby, and Zedaar, and then we also have Darius, Zep, Braun, and Valmir. Party. What are we doing? Okay, it is... How are you getting up there? About 10 feet. Yeah, I can try. He can pick you up easily. Okay. Oh. Are we all muted? Or no, just you. Sorry. Apologies. Braun... Technical difficulties. Yes. So, Braun can lift you up for sure. You can then... Sorry, to recap. Valmir is looking to speak between the cells. So, Braun gives you a boost. You try not to bang your head.
I'm going to look into is their cell the same layout as ours?
Yeah, pretty much, except the cots are on the other wall.
In a point where the guard would not be able to see, I'm going to manifest an echo of myself. So a shadow, kind of shady, just an image of me, but translucent and smoky, just appears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get down, hide behind Braun, and then switch places with my shadow. So I'm now in the other cell.
Okay. You can do that.
Jedi ghost into a corporeal form.
Essentially, yes. So the rest of you see Valmir appear in your cell.
Is that in Ruby and Company cell?
Yes.
That's a neat trick, Valmir.
We just see a shadow appear in our cell of Valmir first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for about 6 seconds, there's just a shadow smoke monster that vaguely looks like me.
Vaguely.
And then I vaguely, and then I appear, sort of like Thanos coming out of his portal. I just appear in the Shades space.
That's an impressive trick, Valmir.
Yeah, I've never done this before. What's the plan?
Wait.
What? Wait, that's the plan?
We are
Yes.
going to wait, and then we are going to see how Mr. Sunderstar responds to this.
Either my father is being lied to, or he is in part of it. Either way, we won't know until he arrives. You all are probably going to be in here for a little while. I would not linger in this cell, Valmir.
No, I came to see what the plan was.
Wait.
All right.
Please.
And then
And
I
tell
just-
the others, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, with that,
Wait, before you go, should we make a precaution and have the ship move away just so they can't move in to try and seize things from it?
How would we contact the ship?
I have magic.
Probably a good idea.
Check with Zep to make sure.
I will do. And then I disappear, and the shade is still there, and I reappear behind Braun.
Sure.
So
they
what's the
want to-
plan? I'm sharpening the pen.
Well, what I don't know. What you see it? You see for a while, just I disappear, and then just smoky shade monster thing.
Not even got a question.
No phasing.
Yeah, it's magic. I don't understand it. It happens.
Alright, well, I reappear, take the place of the shade again. She wants us to wait and don't do anything.
Is that code for anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Zep, should we get the ship to lift off and it may end up being searched? Zedaar can send a message to Marcus. We can get it out of here.
Yeah, or just have it hovering near the city. If it is in the sky, it will be much more difficult for them to seize. It is a good idea. I agree.
Alright, I'll go tell them. And I go back into the other cell again.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to use my action to turn my tools, which I'm guessing I still have some, because this is Zep, he has tools everywhere, into lockpicks.
Sure. You can do that, you bastard.
Keep us in.
And then, Valmir, you teleport to cell.
Yeah, and I relay that to Zedaar. Yeah, if you can get Marcus to take off and hover the ship above the city, out of range of any cannons or anything that they may end up having. But just, yeah, it's a good idea.
Zedaar will cast Sending.
Okay. You may
And
do
Valmir
so.
will fuck off back to the room.
He will target Marcus and just say,
Marcus, this is Zedaar. We are imprisoned. Do not worry. Take the ship offshore a bit and wait for her contact.
There's a word maximum to sending, right?
it's 25.
Okay.
It's well within 25. I was counting it out.
Oh yeah, I know. This is Marcus.
Fair enough.
Zedaar, good to hear from you. There are currently knights trying to get on board the ship. I am doing my best to kind of delay them, but they say that you are under arrest and you have confirmed this. I will try to get them off before takeoff, however, they are currently...
Apparently, there are already knights on top of this ship.
Not surprised.
Like chat's summary of that. Hi, these are your supreme leaders. We're in prison. Flee.
I only hope that the Skyfire is in peace when this is done.
So...
Before we move on, Darius does have an idea. Do you still have that spell on Valmir? And can you transfer physical items in that?
Yeah.
Like if you're holding if you're holding something and you go over to another cell.
Yeah, whatever. Like I basically swap places.
He exists in
Anything I'm
both
holding, swap
locations
places
right
with
now.
me.
Great.
Yeah.
I take one of the unused gem of brightness and I give it to you. Give it to Gourd.
Gord's in the same cell with you.
No, he's not.
No, he's in your cell.
Oh, I thought he was in your cell.
No, we're Zep. We got Zep, Prawn, Valmir, and
I may or may
Darius.
not have set it up in the cells are the locations I have direct cameras for.
Oh no! We don't peer behind the curtain.
Yeah, don't peer behind the curtain. Give this to Gourd. Tell him the power word is flashbang. It's got a full 50 charges on
You
it.
just say the word.
No, because I'm not holding it at this point. I've given it to you.
Oh, right, okay.
So give it to him before you say the word. Don't.
Right.
And also give these to him. I'll give you the lockpicks too. And then I'll make another set, because I have multiple sets of tools.
Yeah, it's fine. Literally, the only thing keeping us in this cell is our own complacency.
I just need to roll some quick perception checks as the sound of drilling comes from this cell.
That's why.
Fucking none aware. That's a 3 and a 4.
I'm going to flip back to the other side, and I'm not moving. I'm staying in this, blind spot, and I'm going to say, "Here, catch," to Gourd and throw the items at him.
Sure.
That gem is if you say the word, shit, what was it?
Come on, it's too.
Flashbang. That was actually Lambert, not Valmir.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If you say the word flashbang, but don't say it now, while you're holding it, brightness and hurts eyes, and then also pretty sure you'd be pretty good with those lockpicks, just in case. I'm despairing again.
Mm-hmm.
The shade is staying in your cell, by the way. I don't know if it's gonna creep you out or anything, but it's just like just a smoky shade thing there. It doesn't move. It just stays there.
Now, the only thing I've given, because there's 3 command words to work that gem with every level, I've given you the only command word for the highest tier 5 full charges used. Basically, you can expel 5 charges and you create a 30-foot cone that blinds people in the cone. So it's just it's yeah.
Okay.
So you've got
this
that.
is the no chill mode.
Well, I thought if we're gonna need it. Well,
Okay.
Basically turning on a military grade flashlight.
no, it's literally a flashback. It blinds people.
An hour passes.
Well, in that hour, there's one thing I wanted to see if I could do. I don't know if you can ready a ritual. Like, can I do the ritual and then not use it?
What is the ritual?
Detect magic. Actually, let me see what the semantics are.
Detect magic
Verbal
lasts for
semantic.
a little while.
It does, but here's the okay. So you could ritually cast it, so that takes an hour, right? Because it's
10 minutes.
No, because it's a
10 minutes.
Oh, it'd be 10
minutes.
minutes because it's a 1 action timer. It then lasts for 10 minutes. I would say you'd be able to hold on to it for the 10 minutes that it would last before the spell's power would begin to wane too much.
Okay.
Does that make
Don't worry
sense?
then.
Like, yeah. Otherwise, you could just store any spell forever. Okay.
I break out the dice because they didn't take that from me either, so we just start playing dice. Whoever wants to.
After about an
I
hour,
lose to Braun.
you do lose to Braun. It's not even
A
rolling.
lot.
After an hour, you hear, gentlemen, please clear the rest of the cells of any other ne'er-do-wells. Move them upstairs for now. And after another 5 or so minutes of other people being kicked out of cells, it's hard to hide that.
Is that voice familiar, Ruby?
Yes. Is it? I'm sorry, is it?
Very familiar.
It's him.
I was gonna cast detect magic.
The dog's gonna cast. Okay.
I have it prepared. I'll use the spell slot. I'm just gonna cast it. I want to know if any magic comes into this room.
Okay. What's the spell level of that?
First level one.
It doesn't pay off.
Nothing what happens. Okay.
But how did Zeps go off
It's a
then?
ward. It's a ward on the man. Not the
I didn't cast anything.
Nobody else has cast
Oh.
anything. Echo Knight is a. It's.
Well, I
yeah.
did cast sending.
Says it
Yeah.
magically manifest an echo.
Yeah, there also wasn't an individual here at that point.
Okay.
It's a,
Oh, so does my
like a
echo
necklace.
Yeah, okay, so can your echo? What it's now says it lasts until destroyed. Would I don't know if because it's not a concentration, so it's not.
If what the
It says this
if the
echo is a
award-
magical translucent grey image of you that lasts until
Yes.
destroyed.
This
if it's like an
particular individual-
anti-magic field or something, it would destroy
It'll
the
go away.
effects. Yeah, or something like that. Like yeah.
Then yes, it goes, and you feel that. I don't know if you even feel that because it's not concentration. This is new. It's an ability
we would
rather
see
than a
the
spell. So
half here.
We would
Yeah,
see.
we both see the
yeah.
shadow go away.
Yeah.
I guess I would. My own shadow would return.
yes, your shadow would return. Yeah, it's like
So
a Peter
creepy.
Pan. Like Peter Pan, your shadow has returned. And you hear the unlocking of your cell door. In comes 2 knights, flanking the door, and individual with regal clothes, large medallion around his neck of what looks to be a blazing phoenix, a sort of regal attire, but underneath it you do see like chainmail, a sword at his hip, and that kind of like skunk graying hair, where it's like
Zep has.
no, more harsh. So it's literally black to white. There's no salt and pepper about it. It is, and it's very white towards the fringe, but the rest of it is still retaining its color.
Ruby will stand up finally.
Ruby, you recognize this to be your father.
Father?
I thought when you finally left, you'd see sense and never come back. You wanted your life of fantasy and innkeeping, and you wanted to come back here to what? To ruin everything that I am working on. I gave you an out, girl, and you have not taken it.
Hard as it may be to believe, Father, I still care about you in this place. When war was declared, I came back to see if it was still standing or if you needed help. You... Then she pauses. What do you mean you gave me an out? Did you start that fire?
I started nothing. I merely made sure that everything that is happening around and that the reputation of our family and the status quo remains. When that fire began and you left, I seized the opportunity for the greater good of the family. You being back here complicates things. I assumed this was coming. It took a lot to buy off your spies.
She clenches her teeth at that. There is a...
Can I insight that?
Sure, go ahead. He bought off some spies. The answer's the same. He bought off some spies.
Fair enough.
Just
Getting a good feel for him in this exchange.
Sure. I thought you would see sense, girl, and simply live your life. It was clear to me that your birthright, your blood meant nothing to you when you didn't return after the first week. You knew what you had done. Yet you did nothing about it. You simply ran. So I let you.
So what happens now? Oh, sorry.
No. Who are these individuals with you?
My friends. A reputable adventuring and trading company, established out of Lagran's land.
Technically, that would be the Rian. Or is that?
Well, the adventuring company's out of the Rian, the trading company's out of Lagran's land.
It's a lot of paperwork.
Very little EU's worth of companies' tax returns.
And
So?
the things I've seen and the places I've been, you'd almost be proud if you'd hear the story. Well, I don't know about proud. I don't think you've ever been proud of me, but you may at least find it interesting.
You too. Talking to the knights. I think I will be fine here. Unlock the other door and wait upstairs. I will be with you in a moment. The other group of you hear a chunk. The door is opened and left open.
Would Ruby have noticed that the spell doesn't work when Zedaar tried to cast it?
Not unless Zedaar made that.
Not
Very
Zedaar,
clear.
I'm sorry. Oh, the detect magic. Would he have tried to cast a spell and it just failed out of his hand?
You don't see a visible, if that's what you're saying.
Okay.
The spell just doesn't complete.
You would have seen the echo go away.
Yeah.
You see the echo go away, but as to why is.
I imagine Zedaar would have been concerned of being overheard at that point. He wouldn't have mentioned it.
But Ruby's not saying it out loud.
Come on in. It seems we have a lot to talk about. Friends of Ruby. You're still going by that name, yeah? We found it pasted all over your diary.
Oh, I want to kill him now.
Went through. So they've been to the ship. They took her diary from her ship.
Oh, I was going off of older diaries.
Oh, previous. Yes. Okay. Yes.
No, not that ship. They are there though. So don't you worry, they are there.
Matter of time.
If the door's open, I'll head over to the other cell to make sure they're okay.
Yep.
You also now all see this real, very monetarily clad is the easiest way to describe it, individual.
Gucci.
Bougie nobleman in front of you.
Yeah,
And
I guess I'll go in there.
it has the same cutting features as Ruby does.
Who did you get to replace me?
An individual with a particular set of skills. Very young thing. We found her as an orphan in one of the cities. Curious ability on that girl. Worked perfectly to my hand.
In an anti-magic field, Father.
You see, the last time we had an interaction, things got a little
Heated.
Zedaar was. I was thinking, like, Zedaar wants to say. Please don't say
Can that have been in character?
Both of them go heated.
And then Zedaar immediately, please don't. Oh.
Like kind of like
And
Gourd,
when-
you know?
And when you started sending infiltrators, it became apparent that I might need to protect myself a little bit. Especially with now you walk in with what looks to be hedge knights, vagabonds, and spellcasters. I stand by my choice at this point.
I feel like it's a crude way to put it in a venturing company, but you are not incorrect in that regard.
I'm just wondering which one he is.
Which one is the vagabond?
I have been keeping tabs on you. It seems you do not leave the Bay of Gold in that kind of fashion without me hearing about it when ships pass by.
So you knew I was taken to Retberry.
I heard about it when you left, yeah.
You knew it wasn't her choice, that she couldn't come back.
Could have come back right after that. Or in
No.
the intervening weeks between. She has been gone longer than she was in Retbury, from what I can ascertain.
Okay.
I have had responsibilities, Father. Things that prevented me from coming home. Things I had to see through.
Your responsibility was here! Look. I thought what happened with the fire would have shown you that you are more for just owning a tavern or listening to cheery music. This music is way too cheery. Hold on. It is completely killing my flow.
The guards upstairs are having a great time.
No, what do I say? I thought it would have been clear to you your potential, my girl. There is so much that you could do, what we could do. Your duty was here to your family. Not gallivanting across some realm, returning some other kingdom's daughter.
Well, you're right partly about that. I did realize something while I was journeying. I am meant for more. More than a tavern. More than a returning some daughter. You see the thing? More than this.
He grumbles.
So congratulations on your success, Father. As always, you have a plan. Where is Mother?
He is at home.
Is she well? Genuine concern on her face. Is she well?
She's absolutely fine. After her daughter returned after a week of being missing, she was over the moon.
Inside check.
Go for it.
Ruby has no capability of inciting, but she's always going to assume her father is lying.
Finally.
To you, Darius, it seems like Ruby's mother does not know that Ruby is gone.
Okay.
The fire that broke out, how did that happen? I was there, but I don't remember.
There's visible confusion on your father's face. Are you saying you completely do not remember?
No, I don't. I intended to come home, Father. I intended to. But when what happened, I couldn't. Physically could not get here. What happened to me wasn't a choice I made. Not coming back was not a choice I could make. Or coming back was not a choice I could make. Nothing I have done has been out of malice to you or this family or this country. But things happened that required the skills that I have acquired. If you take off that detect off your anti-magic field, I can show you what I could do. But something tells me you already know.
He stands quiet for a moment. I am curious that you seriously do not know. But I do feel like this is a family conversation to have.
I agree. Let them go. Let them go back to the ship. Have it pull out of range. Take your knights off of it. Take nothing from it. And I will remain here, and we can talk about the future.
Your memory is as faulty as you actually portray. And it will take a lot more than a conversation with me to unlock what you have repressed. I tell you what. You will all accompany me to the palace. And we'll leave under the cover of night. Less prying eyes as we walk the streets. Well, you will. I'm going home.
If I may intervene or interject, I am able to make her invisible, if that helps.
Very well. Meet me at the palace in 1 hour. I will have the knights upstairs return your things. Your ship will be left under guard. I will leave 3 individuals on board. We will not search anything, and they will not pull away. That is my offer. You are in my lands. That is how we will do this.
It's agreeable to me.
This is...
Very well.
I am only doing this because Ruby is of blood. He composes himself and leaves.
Ruby sets. Visibly shaking.
Zedaar is going to just stand himself up.
We should get going.
An hour.
We need to make sure Marxus doesn't do something drastic to pull the ship away now.
Sending again?
Yes, I did train most of them how to combat things, so maybe that order.
Waste any more magic today.
Otherwise, I can simply write a letter. It is in both parties' interests to make sure that there is no misunderstanding.
We have an hour. We can make it. I can make it to the ship and inform them personally before then.
Also true. I would accompany you on this as well.
Make sure they didn't touch anything or look at anything they weren't supposed to.
Okay. You can do that.
Oh god, I forgot Darcy's
So?
on the hold.
You are all freed of your bindings.
Oh, if they
Your
did anything to Darcy,
Your
fucking
stuff is
no
returned.
promises.
What would you like to do?
We have all our stuff back?
Your stuff is returned. I just said that.
Okay.
Can I have my lockpicks back, please?
So we will give them back.
I need
Thank
a
you.
new pen.
I had him. I'll give him back.
And nah, I guess they took some damage.
Sorry, everybody. Coming here was a stupid idea.
You needed to know.
Oh, I'll take that gem of brightness back before something is accidentally said.
What, like flashbang?
Well, you don't got it anymore, so that's great. I need to teach all you the words for that, just in case that ever comes up again.
Does it work in any language?
It's not really the point we should be going over right now, don't think.
We should be preparing for going to go meet my father.
Well, we just met him. Meet your family, because it's
Yes.
family meeting. Yes. So how you want to play this? On a scale of 1 to my father, how dead do you want him?
Don't want any of my family dead, Darius.
1. Good.
Find it
You're
curious
implying
that
that
your
2
father's
on
at the
that
top
list is
there.
you. You're implying that 2 on that list is you want them dead.
I'm sorry, what?
Zedaar just stares at Darius, a little concerned, but
I'm a
doesn't.
paid mercenary. I have a plan for everyone.
Curious what your plan is for me.
let you run. No, we're not going into that.
Let's get going.
Wait until I roll badly.
Okay. So what are we doing?
Zep and Zedaar are going to return to the ship and make sure things are handled properly.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have to wait here until they get back because we can't leave She can't leave unless she's invisible.
Okay.
And
Then
I'll just say continue doing your trading routines, maybe for a little while. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say be ready to leave, but don't make any moves to do so.
Trade from inside the hole, like invite merchants in.
Yeah, it's as the count suggested, and there are only 3 now on board, making sure that you don't just take off. They seem to be posted in the where they think the ship is flown from. However, Marcus has quite masterfully put them on the top deck, rather than, in the observation chamber.
This is like 60 of our crew that can just kill them, like by numbers, if we really need to.
Can we stop trying to kill my people?
Technically true.
Why are you
but,
always trying to kill my
guards.
people?
Those are guards. To be.
but you can.
Sorry, I have to say this without. It sucks when other people escalate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, the rest
Wasn't the
of you
plan
can,
for this, but it's so good.
You can make your way back.
It's a reference to
and-
another game, by the way, everyone.
Also,
Saturday
could be
Ruby
a
is
reference to
less
this
far more
game.
violent.
and you can make your way back without, it is as was said. Is there anything you guys needed to do specifically at the ship?
Zedaar was just checking through to make sure like they hadn't ransacked or searched or anything.
It seems they've mainly been trying to halt the ship from leaving, rather than doing a deep search.
And he'll check on Darcy to make sure Darcy didn't get too riled up by a bunch of armed men charging onto the ship.
Darcy slept through the entire thing.
It's probably the best.
There are probably things like, I might need to train her to be like a better guard dog. That's not her sleeping through a situation like this is not advisable either.
If Darcy was a guard dog, this would have escalated a lot quicker because they would have boarded the ship and there'd be 5 dead guards in the hold.
Yes. Okay. The rest of you regroup. And
Drop an invisibility on Ruby as we're getting ready to leave.
absolutely, you make your way up to the family estate of the Sunderstars. And it takes you very little time, as you've been shown the way before. As a group arrive, the guards at the front give you a kind of a confused look, but they've been told that to expect some people, so they let you in with no hassle. And now you see it. It is a regal mansionette of a house. You see to your left, there seems to be like a hedge maze. It's like ornate pathing all the way up. Fountains and water features rolling across the I don't want to use driveway because up the main path there's always like leaping water features that like guide you up towards the house. In the center of the house there is a large phoenix water fountains feature as well. That's like in the center of like the main courtyard area, and on it a relatively new emblem of the city has been like affixed to where an old family crest would have been. But as you walk up, there doesn't seem to be any other guards towards the house. In fact, it seems like there isn't any staff either. It is very quiet. Most of the lights seem to be out. And you approach the doors.
You're muted.
Ruby will cancel the invisibility and open the door.
The door opens into a main foyer. Long, seems to have been recently extended. At the far end there is a throne, and to your left and right there are staircases up to the main wings of the house, but there are a few braziers lit, and it is marble lined and elegant. At the head of it, an individual sits on a throne, biting his fingernails, and an individual that looks exactly like Ruby stands to his flank.
That's a really terrible habit, Father.
Echoing across the hall. You're causing nothing but stress for me. Of course I'm going to take it out on myself. Well, my manners. My girl. Meet yourself. And the other Ruby, which...
Does she have the scar over her eye?
Did the scar appear before or after you left?
That was from the incident.
Then no.
Not bad. She's a good-looking girl.
And all of you walk forward. I have rooms prepared for all of you if you would like to follow my daughter. She will show you to them while I and my daughter have words.
Okay, we're going to be a little more specific on that one. Which daughter over the TL? Which one was false Ruby and Ruby?
Say the elder daughter and the younger daughter, pointing at Ruby for the elder, the other one that's the younger.
Anrayne versus Ruby.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I feel comfortable just allowing you to have your private conversation. Surely one of us could sit in and we are not going to spill your secrets.
I'll be here. I'm fine.
Been talking about murdering people for the past 3 hours. I don't feel comfortable with you.
I think this is the person you want here, just in case anything goes badly. Also the person that doesn't require magic.
I am, as you may have stumbled on one secret of mine, I do not want you to stumble on all of them. So I bid you farewell. I am being very, very patient with all of you. I could have had you killed as soon as you got off your ship.
Oh.
Ruby actually... Really?
You could have tried.
Volks, would you mind?
Yeah, we will go.
I'll be fine.
Oh, that was Volk. Sorry, that was VULKS. That's what he referred to the other individual as. The other Ruby. And the other Ruby curtsies father and leads you all away. Unless anyone is trying to stealth away and listen.
Zedaar is going to make a point of not standing next to the door, but basically like making his way to the foot of the stairs and just standing at the foot of the stairs. Like clearly not trying to overhear, but he wants to stay on the bottom floor, wherever their conversation is being had.
I would like to stay within earshot of the room in case there's any screaming or...
I'm going to need you to make a stealth check then. to make it away from this individual that is leading you to chambers elsewhere.
Are they stealthing away, or are they just making a point of not fully following?
Yeah, Zedaar wasn't going to try to hide. He was just going to make his way like to a spot and be like, "I'm going to wait here."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not leaving them. So.
My father has requested you go to the... My father's... again, I'm going German because this is close to Joanna. My father has requested you go to rooms. And you
she
will
sounds
follow
nothing
me.
like me.
God, I'm not going to do an American accent when everyone else here is French.
I will not overhear his secrets. That is a request I will fulfill. But I will not go off to some place I do not understand and leave my compatriot high and dry. I will remain here, away from the situation.
They're far enough away that you can't hear them, Ruby.
Oh, I was... Okay.
Yeah.
Was that
It is
maybe...
not my intent to eavesdrop.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
There you are.
Boop.
Wow.
You will be...
Rolled high.
You will follow me, or you will be escorted away from the property. Although you do not see them, there are guards that line these halls.
Wouldn't Gourd see them with his obscene passive perception?
Not necessarily.
Not
21.
No.
Relevant to the topic.
True.
But they are, So, will you follow me?
I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
I will make my way upstairs, but no farther.
What is the harm of us waiting here for our compatriot?
Unless there's something waiting for us in the rooms.
I'm just gonna kind of change the topic and butt in. Was like, so what are you? How do you do the?
I am
how do you look
certainly
like
much
Ruby?
more polite than, and as she starts talking to you, she turns into you.
I used to be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Can I make like an arcana check? Is
Well,
it literally her doing masculine faces, or is there something else going on there?
Biological.
I'm certainly doing a lot better than you. Now, as she turns back, would you all mind following me upstairs, or we are going to have a problem?
I can see why she left.
Yeah.
Zedaar is going to begrudgingly start to make his way upstairs.
Yeah, I'll church up.
I'm not leaving any of you alone. I'm leaving Ruby, but I'm not leaving the rest of the party. I'm not splitting it, so.
I'm following her already, so.
Yeah, it's just.
I'll lag behind, just dragging my feet, kind of, but moving.
Make a stealth check. Gourd.
You are a cat, so you don't go anywhere by anybody else's timetable.
Always a cat joke with Gourd.
Cat's out the bag with this one.
He doesn't make it very.
What is with
difficult.
us today? What is with us today?
So bad.
Up in the sky, the king was up my name is saying, "You're not supposed to be here."
Okay.
Oh no.
Card with a squirt bottle.
So, Gourd, you actually start making your way away from the group, and then you kind of bustle next to a suit of armor that is like stationary, and the suit of armor grabs you by the shoulder and begins to guide you, like steps down from the pedestal and like clunkily guides you forward. You are physically grappled by the suit of armor, and it moves you with the group.
No, so hold on a second. Does it like grab me from behind? Like, am I unaware of this? Like,
You kind of crash
initial
into
movement
it.
of the
No,
suit?
like it's a stealth. Like you kind of just to kind of get close, and you go, okay, yeah, and then it grabs you. There's just scruff of the neck.
So he immediately just goes limp, right? Because it's the scruff of the neck.
But you are all led away to change scene.
So I know that Ruby, who has been traveling with us, has become quite the skilled chef. Do you have any of your own hobbies like this?
Yeah. How bad of a copy are you?
We'll come back to that. Ruby.
I'm just making small talk as we go. That's all Zep's doing.
Pointedly insulting
I have
them
a
every chance
question.
I get.
Hmm.
Would you like your other players to hear this or not?
I don't want to hear this.
Okay, then I will message in chat when this conversation is done.
Okay.
Your father hasn't changed from his seat. He just clicks his finger twice, and an individual that none of you saw before makes their way into the chamber from behind a door. They seem to be robed. And it's an old, haggard-looking human, kind of liver spots, balding all around, but long hair. They seem to be waving an incense burner. They don't talk to you or look at you, but they begin circling the throne room.
Do I recognize what this is?
Not right now. So, my daughter, you do not remember a thing?
No.
You do not remember what we were trying. You don't. It is. I am aware that you are fully aware of some of your potential, but you do not know the gifts you have.
I know that I am connected to some powerful entity resembling the crest of our family. I know that I did not come by these powers by accident. That I was chosen for something.
I need you to quickly make a constitution check for me.
Check or save?
Save, sorry. We were
19.
Thank you. In a long time now, I've studied our lineage, what makes us us. My family, for many, many generations, has worked, preserve everything from a time since forgotten. We are the vestiges of an ancient bloodline that goes way beyond that of their silly heroism and the king that never was, and even some of the elves. We belong to a path of true heirs to this region. When we walked these halls, you growing up, was it not surprising that underfoot, this house was always warm? Some people think I invested in fancy heating modules. But where we sit, there is a hot spring. And deep below that, an entrance to our history. A way we can reconnect with our long-forgotten blood mother.
You found Caloris.
He giggles to himself. You have been doing some reading. I have not found her. But she speaks to me. She will speak to you. You were to be the one who inherited our royal bloodline. There is a fire inside us that nothing can stop. And as he speaks, everything starts to get a little bit cloudy. You feel that his image kind of doubles. And for a moment you think you're swaying. And then like an image of like, it's not like blood, but your eyes begin to tint red. And there's a subtle glow to everything.
What are you doing?
Deep breaths, my child. I'm going to help you remember what you have forgotten. Please roll another Constitution saving throw.
$19.
Do not resist. I will not harm you. I'm trying to help you. Do you continue to resist? Or do you let the vision take?
Given what Ruby's last encounter with Caloris was, do his words match up? Because I was under the impression Caloris is imprisoned somewhere.
That's... Give me just an intelligence check. Or an insight check. Insight check. Give me an insight check on that.
Sure. 20. Dirty 20.
He hasn't said anything that contradicts it, but nothing is really making sense right now. Not truly.
Is this for me? Or is this for you?
This is for the world.
And that she's probably just going to fall down and slump.
Sure. And with that, you are taken back to a night that's very familiar. You are in a carriage coming down from your main house towards, not towards the city, but continuing uphill. Your path then deviates from the main road towards the top of the sort of cove overlooking the sea line. You know there to be a ruin of some sort. You played amongst it a lot when you were a kid. It's overgrown and offered a little bit of sanctuary away from the city and away from the duties of growing up at court. You play there with a few friends. Tonight it has a very different feel. The carriage is rolling slowly up the hill, flanked by hooded figures bearing torches. You've been dressed in a ceremonial red robe And your father sits across from you. He puts a hand to you and goes, "My girl, we are doing a wondrous thing for our family. Believe in me, as I believe in you."
Yes, Father. Is this past tense Ruby, or is this current Ruby remembering? Or am I a outside viewer, or is this first person?
This is first person to you.
Okay.
You feel like you have some agency, but when you speak certain things, a memory returns rather than the words that you speak.
Okay.
So, if you were to question what was going on, it would merely continue the existing dialogue. You do not feel like you can change history.
Okay.
But the past has happened. I'm again having slight issues with my sound set, so I do apologize, but we continue on.
Father, what's going on?
Do not be afraid, my child. We are merely continuing down the path that is going to bring us greatness.
I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. But I want to know.
All in good time, my child. And the carriage stops. You, from out the carriage window, see the stone slabs around which you've played before. Around it, an intense fire has been lit. In what seemed to be, before you would have not noticed it, more like fallen pillars and various bits of ruined architecture. There seems to be some of the vinage has been cleared, and you can see that there was like an oil trough. And this center podium that you often stood upon and pretended to use as a stage in your make-believe tavern as a child. It's been ceremoniously dressed as an altar. It stands the center of the flame, with various individuals surrounding it. Please. And your father opens the door and takes your hand and walks you to the center of the circle. The closer you get, you feel the warmth of the flames ahead. Until eventually he stops walking but ushers you forward. You stand on the center of the altar. And a rhythmic chant begins between all of the individuals around. Your father then grabs his hand, takes it to his knife, and pours some of his blood into a cup. Rims the cup with brimstone. And drops in a brilliant golden feather. It erupts briefly in a flame, and then the very little liquid expands to fill the goblet. Hands it towards you. What do you do?
What am I supposed to do with this?
Drink it, my child. Everything will become clear.
Feels wrong.
This is okay. Anrayne, you are a Sunderstar, and this is your destiny. Now, child, please drink.
Oh, what would Ruby do? Ah!
Yeah, what would Ruby do? The rhythmic chanting beneath continues. Like pounding.
Ruby takes the cup and holds it up like she's examining it. There's a fire basin or fire altar?
The altar you're standing on is like marbled, but it has like there is a red embroidered sort of cloth that has been draped across it, and then as you look up at the goblet, there is clearly multiple phoenixes like enclosing what looks to be a half of an egg. Is like the design of the goblet.
Okay. Is there a brazier near me, or?
You're completely surrounded by fire.
Okay.
Because of that trough that has been lit.
Yeah. My destiny? Is mine to choose.
Daughter, you do not know what you do. What
And
are you
she
doing?
will take the cup and pour it into the fire.
And with that, you hear an eruptuous explosion as the fire kicks up, the spell being fed into the surrounding flames. You just begin running as the flames pick up. You hear screaming of individuals, but nothing is behind you. You just begin to run into the forest, run into the night. You look behind you briefly. As you look, you see a spark of the fire pick up into the sky and drift towards the city below. But you can't think about that now. You begin to just run and you run and you run into the nighttime. And with that, your vision abates. You return to the cold floor of the throne room.
You're crazy.
I'm not. This, my child, is not crazy. This is perfect. This is years upon years of work and planning. This is the future. Inside you is the blood of the Fire Mother. The blood of rebirth. Of the ever-cleansing flame. The blood of a god. We have the power to set everything right.
This isn't right, Father. What you're doing could upset everything. That magic, that power was taken away for a reason. How many people died in the times before? How many people suffered?
How many people suffer now? How many people are fighting in the follies of the wars of other individuals?
I
But be
can't
not
speak
worried.
for others. You shouldn't either. You can only speak for your actions. You have the choice right now to be better than this.
Casting you aside was when I made my choice. Accept it or leave. You can join me again. We can do this together. Or I will go ahead and be rid of you one way or another. I'm tired of you. Go join your friends. Gets up and begins to walk away.
This is your last
chance, Father. Be better than this. Please. If I am your blood, you know this is wrong.
Give me a persuasion check.
$26.
You may think me misguided, my daughter. But you know that we have the power to make real change.
Not like this. You don't force people to change. I was going to say with a gun to their head, but that's not quite the right expression. By the sword. You can't do that.
The sword is not even in the context right now. I am just giving us what we are owed.
Taught you better than this. Is Mother along with this? Does she agree with all of this? Where is my mother?
Your mother is visiting her. Your mother is her. Your mother is visiting her sister. I'm going Irish now. I do not know why. I made her get out of town. She does not know that you ever went gallivanting. She believes the lie that I have sowed to keep you, to give you the life you wanted, and to not get in the way of our progress.
You know that I have to stop you.
You are certainly welcome to try.
Does Ruby feel the magic in her working?
He's not wearing the necklace.
Last chance, Father.
Last chance, daughter.
You get that good, bad, and the ugly moment right now as they're just kind of Mexican standoff of who's going to cast what first.
I embraced our mother a long time ago. You're only just feeling the embrace for the first time. Do you really want to get in her way? Because I am sure you would not know her name if she did not want you to. She, like me, sees the potential, the homecoming. You are the key to the homecoming as much as I. But you know what's great about keys? They can be forged again, as long as you've got the mold. Be with your friends. I will make folks hide herself until you leave. You can be my daughter for now. And I'm not giving up on your potential so easily. You have a week to give me an answer of what you're going to do. Whether that be nether return or stay by my side and see this through. Either way, I shall have my answer. And if you do anything in that time, I will break you. And he begins to walk away.
She will walk away as well.
Okay. Let's see if we can get everybody back. Okay, everybody is returning. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
So, I want to check in
We're
because
not there. We can't hear you say hello.
well, you are shown to rooms.
Meanwhile, we're all dead.
Are you doing anything in particular?
One.
How long were Ruby and her father talking?
You don't know that.
That's very true. I was unconscious for a good chunk of it.
So, the rest
As
of
they
you.
got up to basically the hall with the rooms, Zedaar would have made a point of standing at the end of that hallway and going no farther.
Okay.
Not into a room, but at least like, I am here, that is far enough.
Sure. You can all stand at the top of the stairs then, if that's what you will. Are you doing anything? Roach, I saw you had your hand up. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't want to split the party, but I do want to check. Do the doors swing outward or inward for these rooms?
Well, if you're not going into those rooms and staying at the top of the stairs with Zedaar, because the individuals you're with are not also willing to split your party. So you don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh. Is there anyone in that suit of armor? Because I'm assuming it's kept going with us to...
Yeah, it's still holding
to hold
Gourd.
on to the scruff of Gourd's neck. Is there
you-
anyone in it?
Artiface check.
Go for it. Make an artifice
I'll do that.
check.
I'll just ask him. I'll just ask him. Is that a person?
What I do.
Is that a person or is that an automaton?
That is a natural one, but it is still
What?
a 12.
What the fuck is going on?
Zep, you just kind of go up to it, flick up the visor. There's no one inside of it.
I deduce that there's nobody in sight.
How does he flick up the visor? How tall is this suit of armor?
Zep is a wily mother trucker and knows how to climb things. His best friend is a suit of armor he climbs essentially. So,
And I literally have a
Ron's a
feat
lot
which
more
is
than
all
that.
about doing that as a free action, so yes.
yeah, exactly. So
Ron's a lot more than the suit of armor. He's also a world-class gambler.
and
Also true.
a brilliant painter
And
as well.
a brilliant painter, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's a
all
recent
those things.
development.
Yep.
That's a recent development.
Let's not talk about the fact that he was a soldier at all. Let's just
Okay.
leave that on the floor. He was all those other wonderful things.
That's his past, though. He hasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
you
He
know.
also doesn't
Yeah, we're
talk
talking
about
what
him
he
being a
is,
soldier.
not what he was.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Focus on the future. It's positive.
I would have spent a little bit of time talking to Anrayne, just to kind of get a bit of an idea of who she is, if I can.
She's very, very cryptic. So ask your questions.
Do you have any hobbies?
I like to gut cats. I'm joking with you. I sew. Next
I
question.
mean,
like-
catgut is used for making various instruments, so it
Yeah.
would not be entirely unreasonable.
Pretty common.
I think she actually cuts cats.
Oh, man, that's
Those rolls, I mean...
Can
But continue, yeah.
because we sit every 30 minutes or something like that. So I want to do something. I don't want to get a bit out of this.
A bit longer than
Can-
that, but yes.
Oh, okay. I meant out of game. I meant in
Oh.
like
Your characters have longer than that.
Yeah. Can I make a general intelligence? No, Duke, down. Can I make a general intelligence check because Roach realizes something, but I need to check if Darius realized something because this, whatever they're doing to mimic, can't be a magical effect
Correct.
because she was right next to
Yeah, that's sort
Ruby's
of what I was
dad.
going to ask as well.
Yeah, so it
Can
has
I-
to
The
be
more
something
perceptive
else.
of you, e.g. Team Bahamut over here, both noticed that the father was also not wearing his amulet when you entered.
That makes no sense because that's a defense mechanism. So if you're gonna have your daughter next to you all the time, why would you?
Can I
get rid of
make
your-
some kind of check to see if I recognize how she was changing?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
give
I
me a
want.
Like,
history
because
check.
I did, like, Mask of Many Faces changing.
Mhm.
Do I know? Is it what she's doing, or is it something completely different? Would I
Sure.
know what it is she's doing?
Can I give him advantage on that instead of rolling myself? Because I think
If
Darius
you're
would
openly
notice
talking
that.
about it in front of this individual, then yes.
Oh yeah, insultingly so. Yes.
Okay.
How very Darius of you.
Yeah.
What
Go for it.
would I roll for that? Like Arcana is what I was
history.
thinking.
It'd be history.
History.
If you're thinking about okay, are you trying to discern if there's magical means, or are you trying to work out what?
I'm trying to work out what it is.
If it's history, I
It'd
have a
be
+5
history.
to it, so it
Yeah, it'd
could.
be history based. If it's working out what it
So-
is rather than what is happening.
Yeah, no, it's 10.
God damn it!
You have no
That's what I
idea.
was saying.
This
I have a
person that is
+5. Maybe
changing
I
in
should
front
make
of
the
you.
check.
Yeah, but I don't want to meta
So-
game on the numbers.
Well, we'd be talking amongst each other. How much do you know this? How much do you notice that? Everything. But whatever, it doesn't
Given
matter.
a little bit of my background, I guess, would I be able to roll a nature check on this to see what kind of
Hell
creature
yeah,
they
go
might
for
be?
it.
Alright.
Gotta be some sort of changeling or something.
Yeah, Zedaar has proficiency in history, but like I feel like that roll's already rolled, so I don't want to
Ah.
start doubling down on it.
Why can't we roll tonight? What is wrong with us?
Under 10, like every time.
Except for
So
Ruby.
bad.
Yeah, she got like 4 decent. She stole all the rolls.
Well, it is her show.
Y'all have
Right
no
now.
idea how handy those rolls are either. Just FYI.
Yeah, we don't. We're just. And yes, I'm being as insulting as possible because up until about an hour and a half ago, we were in prison.
Sure. No problem.
And we're being led to rooms we don't know what's in them. We haven't gone into them, and we haven't seen our friend
Sure.
more than a half hour.
How is,
So
this, how is this
about-
creature acting around us not wanting to go into the rooms?
It gave up a while ago.
that annoying.
But after about an hour and a half, you see Ruby. You see Ruby appear at the bottom of the stairs, dripping with sweat, panicked, and completely out of sorts of herself.
Can we tell if this is the real Ruby?
Yeah. Can we please? I don't trust anything anymore.
Make an insight check, Gourd.
Hopefully I grabbed insight. There we go.
You
At
look to
least it was
the
a 10.
fake Ruby behind you, and the one in front of you seems to have a scar over her eye that the other one doesn't, that you remember Ruby having.
Are you well, Ruby?
She's gonna look Darius dead in the eye and go, 10.
Now?
No.
Oh, okay. I pointedly look at. I pointedly look at fake Ruby. All right.
And then you see them change into you, Darius, and go, all right.
Yeah, that's less scary than you think it is.
It really is.
It's really.
But if you stay like that, oh, I'm sorry, Ruby's crazy right now.
Yeah.
If you stay like that,
Really-
I'd pop the fireball, yeah.
Yeah. Should really pick somebody with more self-esteem.
And she
Zedaar's
turns
going to
back
make his way
into
down the stairs. Just
Ruby.
going to lay a hand on Ruby's shoulder, and he is going to give her a lesser restoration, just to see if it helps her in any way.
Can you drop lesser restoration to the chat? I need
I
to
can
check something.
absolutely give lesser restoration to the chat. It cures any one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition be blinded, deaf, and paralyzed, poisoned. As a note, it does actually help with things like short-term madness as well.
Okay. Yeah. No.
It's stress.
She feels, Ruby, you feel a lot more relief, but there's something malingering that isn't lifted by the spell.
We need to go back to the ship.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
But they've been so hospitable here.
She would look to
Tears with his scruff of his neck still being held.
she would look to the other Ruby. You would be wise to run from this place as fast as you can.
She looks at you, peers at you for a bit, and then you see a scar appear matching yours. I am right where I need to be.
Didn't earn those scars. Don't know what's coming.
So I am sure that Marcus is getting very worried about us all now. Maybe we should leave these good people behind and leave.
That's what you
Zeb starts
want, Ruby?
Ruby's walking away.
Okay.
Do they let us go?
The suit of armor lets Gourd go.
I'm gonna turn back and hiss at him a little bit.
Yep, sure. Take that.
I suppose we move to exit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby's not talking to anybody. She's just going right back to the ship.
Sure.
I will take up the rear of the formation, just in case.
As we're leaving the house, I'm going to cast Detect Magic and just like have it scanning around us. Got a little box with the radar checking around us to see if anything's weird.
Yeah, as you look, as you walk through the garden, you see like a lot of the statues in the garden are giving off a magical glow.
Many of the statues here are not what they seem, but otherwise we do not seem to be being followed.
The armor, the statue. I understand why he had to take the amulet off now, if that was what's giving his powers.
As we're walking back to the ship, I'm just going to be beside Ruby and maybe hold her hand, see how... No? Or not?
Did you make it back to the ship unharmed?
Are you ready
Like
to leave this place,
seemingly
Ruby?
unharmed or actually unarmed?
Let's go have a talk.
A personal point of kicking the 3 knights off the fucking ship.
Get off our plane.
No ticket!
You are on personal property. This is not your shit. Get the fuck off.
We are remaining here until the count says so.
You will step off, or you will be removed.
Dare you. You may get rid of them.
Marcus, make
Or
preparations.
do it on the count of 10.
She'll look at all 3 of them. If I were you, I would run away from this place as fast as you can. You don't know what's coming.
Give an intimidation check at advantage.
Ooh.
Zedaar
Yes.
is showing his fangs right now, by the way.
Just yes.
This is something Zedaar has never done before.
21.
One of them looks to the other two and kind of nods, and they leave.
I'll follow them. I don't feel like I don't
get
leave
off
them
the
out
ship.
of my line, out of my sight.
They very much get off the ship.
I'll head to the observation deck and let's go.
Well,
Okay.
no, we're not leaving.
I at least want to be off the ground.
But yeah, a few thousand feet up.
Have us hover above the city. I'm not staying down here.
Are we
I am,
still
but-
on the top
Oh,
deck?
We'll need to go and gather in the conference room when the ship is up.
Okay, the ship takes off, and you all gather.
I am by no means a judge of character. About you. About anyone. But with all of my heart, I say this. My father is a lunatic. He's looking for my power. He's looking for how to tap it, how to access it, and how to burn this world down and change it.
You never said that your family had anything to do with phoenixes, so I was surprised when the amulet he wore bore the insignia of one.
I didn't remember. I didn't remember anything until now. But I know what they are. I know what all of them are. They're cultists of some sort. Dedicated to this power. And she looks them all dead in the eye. If he has his way, he will burn this world down. I have been given the choice of leaving and never coming back, or joining by his side.
Well, naturally, we're taking option 3.
I have seen one city burned before at my hand. I will not see another. If they must be stopped, then they must be stopped. You have my support in this.
I killed my father. I can help you kill yours.
Getting a theme with this party.
Daddy
Welcome
issues.
Welcome to Dungeons and Daddy Issues. We're
I expressly said
I
in
don't know
my...
what you're talking
There's
about. I have a
patricycle
wonderful
around.
relationship with Zedaar has a wonderful relationship with his father.
Yeah,
Granted, he didn't see when he was 4, but he had a wonderful relationship with him.
I expressly said in my character background, like, both of his parents are very much alive and very much in good relationship.
yeah.
I gave him the choice to be better. He declined.
When you say cultists, do you know what they are building a cult around, aside from just your powers?
Its name is Caloris. And she'll unwrap the bandages around her hand to show how incredibly burned her hands are.
Are those new or old?
New-ish.
Did it hurt?
Not anymore. And yet all the time. Before, long before anything on this world existed, before the king that never was, before even the gods, really, this world was ruled by elemental forces. Caloris, well, is a descendant of one of the gods of... I don't remember the fire god's name off the top of my head, and Ruby
strictly said it to one of the salamanders before.
It's I don't have his name in front of me, but
Kazgrom, I think.
yeah, something like that. But he's also known as the Magma King.
I was gonna say the Cinder King, but that's something else. The Magma King had descendants, and one of them was a being of royal fire. It was a phoenix. My father believes that he is a descendant of this entity. And as she wisps a little fire around her fingers, the sanity of his plan is irrelevant. He's not wrong, and he can do it. I didn't attack him in there because I wasn't sure what the extent of his power would be. Nor did I think he attacked me because he didn't know what I could do. But I can absolutely assure you that he is preparing for us to come back.
And
he intends to reforge my power. I was supposed to be a catalyst to a ritual. I disrupted it. But he is going to redo it. He cannot be allowed to do it.
what is he going to be using as a catalyst this time if you are not available?
I don't know. But he seemed intent that he could reforge the key. Whatever that meant. I do know that he requires a phoenix feather. Whether or not he has one, I don't know either.
Are phoenixes known to be actual real things, or are they still mythical to the wider public?
We fought dragons.
Yeah,
We did fight dragons, but a dragon and a phoenix are different.
So phoenixes do it. Give me a history check.
$17?
Yeah, that'll do it. Phoenixes, whilst like in the realms of mythological in terms they don't exist on this plane today, phoenixes are known to exist, and they're sought after by high level magic practitioners, but they exist on various planes of existence outside of this one.
Oh. Do it tonight.
Yeah, when do we want to do this?
If you said he's preparing, we should probably not allow him too much time to prepare.
But we should as well prepare and stick to a plan.
I had an idea, because we have an advantage in the form of our ship. Not to necessarily risk the ship, but okay, just as a question for, because I'm not, it's been a while since this was described. The Ruby's family's like a state. Is it like a mini castle, or like does it have like defensive walls around it?
No, it's like a 5-foot wall, if that. It's more like a state boundary.
State boundary, but it's like stone or something like that. Like
yeah, but you could hop it.
It doesn't have
easily.
it doesn't have an approach that's that wouldn't be visible, right? Like it's up on a hill. We'd have to go up on a hill.
Yeah, it's up the hill in like in an estate of, think medieval Hollywood Hills.
Got it. Why don't we use Featherfall, as we have potions of it and people who can cast it, to drop in as one, and then they can't stop us.
I'm sure I don't need to point out how tactful we also need to be with this, as we will be openly going against a Lord of Narthafel.
Yeah, that doesn't vibe with the plan I was about to suggest, which was dropping something real big from real high that might go boom.
So that's why I was saying we just drop ourselves, because anybody looking from the town wouldn't necessarily be able to see us going down. They just see ship going across and then maybe going out in the water while it waits.
Do I still feel a malaise over me?
You do.
So we
When I did my detect magic, was anything on Ruby?
I need to double check detect magic.
I think you can detect a magical effect.
Yeah, but does this count as a magical effect? Yes, there is a slight necromantic energy to Ruby right now.
Okay. Not what I was concerned about.
Yeah, that'd be my suggestion. That way we can get in without them seeing us on the way in. At least not what they'd be
I would
expecting.
assume that some of the defenses will be fire-related. Considering the heritage, I can make 2 suits of armor which are cooled against its effects.
I've already used up a decent chunk of my magic for the day.
Yeah, I would need a solid night's of work to do this. I could not do it tonight.
We could rest early and do this before the morning properly comes.
Is there anything on Ruby's person that was not there before?
Give me a quick investigation check.
One moment. I had to let my dogs out.
Absolutely fine.
Let yourself down.
Because Ruby was unconscious for a while.
Are you? What are you? Also, are you?
3.
Are you checking item wise, or
Yeah, she's checking over body, pockets.
You don't find anything in pockets or anything of that sort.
Yeah, robes, hair. She's going to make sure he didn't put anything on her.
Now that we are gathered here, when I was checking the estate's gardens as we were leaving for potential people following us, I must admit I also scanned you, Ruby. And you do have some kind of lingering necromancy around you. I was more concerned about divination in case he was listening in on us, but that does not seem the case.
No, he did something that put me to sleep and made me recall a vision that I haven't felt the same since.
It's up to you. You want to take a night? I want to take a long rest.
Take a night.
And then we hit him before dawn.
Probably would be wise.
I'm fresh, so I can stay on watch.
We need to focus on more than one thing here. If we are going to do this, we need evidence. We need to be able to prove that the act that we are taking is against a madman, not a duke.
Count. But yes.
Does your father have an office, a study? Would there be records we could find of his activities?
Below the estate. There's something going on below the estate, I think.
There's all the proof we need then.
That's good enough for me.
We'll prepare accordingly.
I didn't need any proof, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
I
Then,
don't need proof for us. I need proof for the world.
with that in mind, we're going to go
Rest of it.
ahead and end tonight's episode here with the revelations of Ruby's past brought to light and a group hellbent on righting wrongs. we'll leave it here for this week. So, thank you everybody for watching tonight's episode of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. I have nothing left to do except for to thank all the people that are here with me. We have the wonderful Mordred Viking, Lord Lambert, Commissar Roach, DM Opal, DM Lake, and Kinda Otter. I have, of course, been Midgeman, and you've been watching the Component Cast. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, everybody, if we don't see you. And, good night for now. Join us tomorrow for Trico Good Night.
Bye, everyone.
Toodles.
Bye.
Good evening.